Welcome back, 13 Card Subject Change. I'm Zach. That's not Leroy in the big chair.
No. That's a very, very handsome black man.
The best afro in the business. I'm sorry. According to Leroy, we have to say it once per show now.
Well, to be fair, because other people keep saying there's better afros in the business, it's just not factually correct.
Right. Anyway, Leroy is being dad today. He may or may not be here at some point. But right now, you've got me and you've got Jesse, and that's okay.
That's really all you need.
I'm just okay. But, you still got that piece of paper, by the way, that I gave you?
By the way, announcement, merch is coming before Christmas. Announcements coming soon. So, yes.
Okay,
yes,
perfect. All right, so anyway, Jesse, we're going to get right into a bunch of stuff because you're having a typical Jets day, and I'm having a weird day where, hey, I'm the Vikings, and my quarterback can play. He needs to grow up because he's only 22. Anyway, Jesse, the news finally dropped.
Yep.
And you have been on this bandwagon forever. You have said it. You have been absolutely championing it. 5 days a week, we will be having pro wrestling on television.
That's right.
Jesse, it took longer than you thought.
Sure.
And this is not what you think the opening topic is. But, Jesse, we're going to start with, clearly Billy Corgan has no plans to get on national television.
So, circa, congratulations to TNA. He had set up a deal with CW. Well, clearly that fell through when they took NXT.
Well, not only that, but remember, I guess it hurt them when they had that, what was clearly fake, but they tried to do cocaine on that one pay-per-view that had like 400 some buys or whatever.
That was one of the dumbest things I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, you can apologize for it later, but like, it's still like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Congratulations to TNA. Now, NWA still does shows.
Yeah.
Some people will say, I think. Yes, they do. But I don't know, man. He had the greatest opportunity in the world coming out of 2020, and they just never seized it. So I don't know. And
now we'll get to sort of the big news. Jesse, TNA, man, they got more comebacks than the Rolling Stones in them.
You're going to be on AMC. So for those wondering, like, well, how in the hell am I going to get an AMC? I mean, truly, if you have YouTube TV, you get it. If you have,
I think I have it with Hulu Live.
Yep. If you have Sling, so it's pretty available.
Well, it's just the American Movie Channel. Jesse, that's a basic cable channel.
So outside of like all those Walking Dead reboots, restarts, and reruns,
they have nothing going on.
Now you have TNA Wrestling on there,
which is still better than Pop TV because Pop TV used to be the literal TV guide channel.
Besides their owners at the time, like Pop TV did not give a shit about what. Well, I think that was Global Force Wrestling.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Number one, big ups to, is it Mario? The guy who's the CEO of TNA now.
Yeah.
Listen, like I told people, is he more of a businessman than a wrestling fan? Sure. He grew up, he's already said his influence.
Carlos Silva.
Thank you, Carlos. I sound racist now by calling him a different Spanish name, but it is what it is.
Well, no, technically you called him an Italian name.
But
details.
It's one of those things where, like, yes, is he using the WWE deal to further TNA's brand? Yeah, he should. That's called good business. Is he using the WWE deal to help them get these new, opportunities going for themselves? Well, yeah, he should. So, congratulations to TNA. Of course, and listen, it's great for wrestling, especially here in America, that you're going to have now 3 full companies that you can watch just on TV.
Now, wait a second, Jesse. This can't be good for wrestling because WWE isn't wrestling, and these guys are associated with WWE. So how can they be wrestling?
So to answer that question, they all get in a ring. They all do matches. So that would mean that they're all professional wrestling. I know who you were quoting there, and they're all idiots.
You know, Jesse, it's really funny to me. So Jim Cornette recently just did his top 20 under 30 from 1984 alone.
Yeah.
First of all, what a fucking list. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think once again, because I recently had a talk with this about somebody that we'll have on the show, so I'm not going to divulge the name just yet because I want to get into more of what we talked about. But they talked about how this game is based on old school mentality things that I think a lot of people don't understand, that there was a subsection of wrestling fan that got so sick and tired of what Vince was producing that they forgot that even in Vince's twisted mind, that is how you're supposed to book wrestling.
Right.
It was just for himself.
Right.
Whereas you were turned off from WWE around 2013, 2014.
Yes.
But you never lost sight of what wrestling was, of what it was supposed to look like.
What it was supposed to be.
Right. And Jesse, I think this is the part that no one understands because the sickos have fallen into the realm of this. Because by the way, the person that I talked to was unaware of who actually owned AEW.
Oh, okay.
They thought Tony Khan was the owner of AEW, which is factually untrue.
That would be his Faja.
Jesse, you and I are both going through stuff in our life right now where, let's be honest, because everyone's in this boat, we need a little extra money.
Sure.
We got some bills and all this other kind of stuff.
Of course.
Jesse, I think that people are not understanding that because you have a billionaire mark, not someone who bought the company from their father for $1 million and then turned it into a $1 billion corporation. Jesse, people don't realize that the point of the business is ticket sales and money and drawing power and star power and all these things. Everyone just thinks pay Roman Reigns money to everybody and let them enjoy it. Right. Jesse, this is a business. Yes. You can't realistically live in that realm. Not even Tony's paying certain guys above $80K.
Right.
And unfortunately, what people don't understand is that while the WWE sounds very heartless in a lot of the things that they're doing, this is how business goes. This is how business is run. And while, yes, there are some stupid comments that come out of people's mouths, Mark Shapiro for damn sure, Jesse, they're at least coming from it from the perspective of, yes, we supposedly have all the money in the world, but we are getting more because not so much we're greedy. That's part of it. It has to be in business.
Sure.
But we have bills to pay, and those bills are way more than people think.
Sure.
And unfortunately, Jesse, when you have 3 major sports brands, and unfortunately only one of them's making money, shockingly, it's the one that's predetermined.
Yes.
But I think what no one understands, as
one of the other owners once said, it's that fake shit. Yeah, the fake shit is making more money than him right now. Yeah.
Dana, stand over there.
If I was Triple H, I would never go to a UFC event again. Really, that fake shit, huh? Okay.
Really? Okay. Okay. You mean the only thing that's making enough money so that they're not asking you why you're not making any money? Funny.
I told you guys it's getting there.
But no, Jesse, to relate it back, of course, if you have a good business relationship with somebody who is letting you make a name off of them, that's what you do. Right. I hate to tell you this, some music guys who think that they know everything. Jesse, who was the first person to put a young Van Halen on their tour as an opening act? Regardless of his politics, he's our old Uncle Ted.
Yeah.
And he's one of the greatest recorded guitarists of all time.
Because he saw them on the Strip.
Yep.
And was just like, these guys are a show and a half. He was like, I gotta have them. And they, of course, were the first band to really not only break through, but created what we what became hair metal.
Right. Ted Nugent, for those of you wondering, when you take away the politics, when you take away, our crazy Uncle Ted,
he's still a legendary musician.
Musically, Ted Nugent, and by the way, he's also not racist, despite what people think, because Ted Nugent will tell you James Brown was the greatest thing that ever happened to the entertainment business.
He doesn't need to be racist to be a piece of shit.
Right, exactly. But I'm just saying that Jesse, Van Halen will always tell you they owed everything to Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, Ted Nugent at that time was one of the biggest touring artists around. He brought these guys out there, and then to quote Henry Rollins of all people, as soon as the show was over, he ran out and bought everything that he could find from those guys.
Yes, he did.
Because that's how you get somewhere. Yeah. TNA, Van Halen, no one's going to act like they haven't been putting on phenomenal wrestling for the last couple of years.
Right.
But Jesse, if no one sees it, because see, Jesse, one of the biggest problems, and by the way, you and I could do a whole podcast about bands who didn't make it out of the Sunset Strip, who were probably 4 times as talented as the guys that got out of there.
Oh, no doubt.
But Jesse, unfortunately, we all know the thing. Poison was just a step above everything.
Yeah.
Motley Crue musically was a more lower tone, heavier sound. Yeah. That always makes it out of the rock scene. Hanoi Rocks got to a peak. They were done. Warrant was at their peak until grunge happened. Whitesnake was always going to get big because they were students of music, and they were so much different than what hair metal was.
I mean, a lot of those bands kind of Nirvana killed their career.
Well, yeah. Because, rest in peace, formerly Ronnie James Dio once said, it kind of kicked all of us in the ass, and we were like, oh, this is now the thing happening, and we kind of have to deal with that. But just, Jesse, Van Halen has clearly carved themselves a niche that can never be duplicated in music.
Right.
But it didn't happen without Ted Nugent.
Right.
So why wouldn't Carlos Silva look at someone and say, we'll come on and go on your TV, but you have to respect we're still partnered with these guys.
Right.
And in our industry, because remember, TV, wrestling, it's still 2 different industries.
Right.
In our industry, sorry AEW diehards, they're the market leader.
Yeah.
They're the market ownership of everything. And unfortunately for TNA, they're now getting backlash from the indie crowd for working with those guys because once again, Stacks Channing Lorenzo, he had to win the belt because Jesse, what is happening? And Mike Santana is the leader of it. He's coming after NXT. So you have to keep making NXT stars big on TNA television. So when it all comes to a head, Mike Santana has specific hit list people.
Right.
And Channing Stacks Lorenzo is now on that list.
Correct.
He is now a guy that is going to turn around and be a target of a Mike Santana who, yes, the world title thing's still confusing. But he's clearly a guy who is going to be pushed as a future either NXT guy or a future top TNA guy.
Right.
So the booking we'll talk about at one point, but Jesse, this company will not fucking go away. They just fucking don't want this to stop.
It is the pro wrestling cockroach that will not die, but I'm happy it doesn't. I mean, really think about like the fact that this was done. Well, one, because Jeff Jarrett and Vince McMahon hated each other, and Jeff Jarrett's father also did not like Vince McMahon, and then 2, well, also to protect the history of NWA, which, thank you, Jeff Jarrett, because he was just certain Vince would just buy it and kill it.
Yep. Yep.
And then 3, so instead of 2, 3, it was a chance, even though it was self-fulfilling, it was also a chance for, besides Jeff, to continue to push himself as this megastar. I still love Jeff Jarrett for that. I don't care what people feel. I love him for doing that shit. I think that shit's great. He also gave people an opportunity.
Yeah.
And that has not, like, this company started in 2001.
This company started on a sound stage in Orlando studio.
Like 2001.
Jesse, this was the original idea that Eric Bischoff had for WCW, or what would become Eric Bischoff's Nitro, which is, Jesse, the crowds were people who got in for free to watch how a television show is created.
Right.
That's what they did in WCW, and that's what the Impact Zone became. Universal Studios Orlando gave them a soundstage and said, okay, go do the wrestling thing. Because, Jesse, these big places, if you make them $5, they're happy.
Right.
Especially if they're paying Jack for it.
Right. Right. It's just, give TNA all the credit in the world. Give Jarrett back in the day all the credit in the world for just going, hey, we can't call ourselves counter programming because we don't, especially back then, they did not measure up to the 8 to 9 million that WWF/E were still getting. But it did, and the fact that, by the way, they had a lot of WCW's old stars.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
But it also, it allowed him to go, okay, well, we're going to do our brand of wrestling. They came up with the idea for the 6-sided ring, which, of course, in hindsight, was a fucking terrible idea.
It got them into toy stores.
But it did. And then, they realized it's shit's dangerous for the wrestlers, so we should probably...
Oh, I remember AJ Styles famously said, I took a bump in a 4-sided ring, and I was like, oh, I feel okay. I can do this.
Yeah, 6-sided ring. Listen, I remember the first time I saw it on what was Fox Sports North here in Minnesota.
Yep.
And also Fox Sports North in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this ring?
Yeah.
Because really, I think the most unique ring I had ever seen in pro wrestling was in Mexico.
Right.
Because I think they had a 25 by 25 by 20, so it was 25 all around.
Yeah.
So it was just massive.
Right.
But, they used to do all these spots and, all the, so many people in the ring.
And by the way, also shout out to CMLL for selling 1 million tickets in just Arena Mexico in 2025.
Awesome.
That's tremendous.
That's tremendous.
I love that for CMLL.
Yes. Wrestling's in a good place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're an AEW and you want to hate on this, that's your prerogative. But
well, Jesse, now, although there's a lot more to get into with the future of TNA, but we'll chronicle that as we go forward. Now let's get into the big news. Somebody bought a wrestling company, or at least they bought the TV deal to a wrestling company. And no, it should have been Blockbuster, but they stupidly did not purchase Netflix 20 years ago when they should have.
Boy, that comment from 20 years ago aged like sour milk.
It aged like dirt.
This is a little startup that doesn't even matter, and no one's gonna care in like 2 years, and they put you out of fucking business.
$82.7 billion to buy Warner Brothers later.
Put you out of fucking business. Listen, because by the way, the war still isn't quite over. Paramount is right now trying to still put in because they feel like they put in enough of a deal.
Sure.
Per share, so they're trying to up their ante again.
Yeah, sure.
And listen, I know some people have been posting like, this is what we don't want, and I'm like, wait a minute. Skydance is a company that actually gives a shit about movies and television because they are Paramount. And because the guy who bought it from Skydance, and his dad owns this mega corporation. I won't get into the corrupting and all that, but his dad owns this mega corporation, and that dude loves TV and movies.
Right.
And if you're a diehard, if you're a sicko, you actually should want Paramount to get it because they'll probably take care of AEW.
Right.
But I will say this: Netflix buying WB. So as you know, my fingers and toes are in a little bit of a lot of parts of worlds, pro wrestling, music. And then for those who don't know, and I'm going to be restarting Jay's take, sports, movies, and TV.
Yep.
Because I also when I was in school, not only did I do business management, I did a minor trying to get into film directing.
Right. No.
Now I didn't end up pursuing it.
Yeah.
But I've always had a fascination, which is probably why I had this big ass fascination with pro wrestling, because it's kind of in the same entertainment realm. But movies and TV.
To quote both my wife and our boy Chavo, who does sound and editing for DPW. Yeah, no, never thought we'd be involved with wrestling when it came to media.
Well, right, you did it because you were into the movies and TV and just the world.
By the way,
creating.
folks, watch the Facebook, watch the YouTube. DPW8 dropping soon.
Yeah, they're gonna probably have it out a lot quicker than the last couple of shows. And by the way, this show was a barn burner, so be on the lookout for that.
Man, Century gets the show out quick.
We'll be talking about Century when that show comes out.
All right, yeah, okay.
And you know how you know certain things are going on there. But the big thing for me when it comes to this deal is there should be a little worry if you're AEW. Now they can't completely finalize the deal regardless of Paramount's bid, because WB is still branching off the TV portion of their stuff into a separate company.
Right, exactly. There's a lot more logistics to it than just
this.
There's
a lot more still going on there.
But to talk on the surface, Jesse, unfortunately, on the surface, what looks like might happen is Netflix is, and I'm saying this as a joke, Netflix is going to have to choose between a bunch of people they paid $5 billion to
Here's the thing,
and someone they paid nothing to.
Here's the fun thing for Netflix, right?
Yeah.
If they want to. Because, by the way, the promises they've already made, and this deal's going to take about a year to get done.
Yeah.
6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
But the promises and reassurances already put into paper contract that will be notarized before this bitch is done.
Yeah.
To David Zaslav. They're going to commit to keeping movies in theaters, which is a big thing because WB is a big-time, movie company as well. They're supposed to make sure they're going to keep both companies, to keep them separate.
Yeah.
And to keep the two heads he put in place. That promise has been kept.
Yeah.
And then, so that will leave something very interesting on the table for AEW, and that's this. We already know the current head of some of the TV stuff don't really like the AEW product.
No.
We know this.
Yeah.
Dave Meltzer can put out all the lies in the world he fucking wants to, but this has already been notarized and reported.
Yeah. And where can they find that, by the way?
Oh, not just us here in one of our podcasts. You can literally find that at Variety. You can find that on Yahoo Entertainment.
Yep.
You can find that report. That report is like a year old now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Boy, you might want to start your fucking game up, because they're going to be looking. They will listen. Netflix at first is not going to cut probably anything.
No.
But they will start looking into it.
Yep.
Especially for shit that's not making them money. Now, to be fair, you are less likely to get cut as soon as a Paramount might do it, because as we know, Netflix will throw money for projects that just turn into absolute dog shit films that they throw on.
And the truth is, Jesse, if we break it down to layman's terms for our fans.
So for our fans,
no, hold on, let me finish. Yeah, if we break it down, ultimately, if let's just say on the surface AEW gets absorbed, Jesse, it's a very friendly deal because they're not paying that much compared to what they've thrown money. Because by the way, apparently, and I still have to give it at least a 3-episode watch. Apparently, the last season of The Witcher is just bombing because they got rid of Henry Cavill.
But I've heard what's the name isn't that bad. I have to watch it too. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. Well, but see, Jesse, I've heard he wasn't that bad from the producers who hated Henry because Henry was trying to stick to the subject matter. But again, I also don't understand why you get writers and producers on fantasy stuff who are then like, well, that doesn't make any sense. It's already written. Stop trying to fucking reinvent the wheel.
Well, then the big thing before I get back to this, but when it came to The Witcher as well, is like, Because I've had some friends who've watched it and they're like, listen, Liam isn't the problem.
No.
The show isn't great, but this season isn't great, but Liam isn't the problem.
Okay.
So AEW. Here's the thing, man. I don't think they have to worry about losing their deal with TBS. Not probably for at least 5 years. I think they're fine.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to step your game up because Netflix would happily maybe pay you more.
Yeah.
And they will happily just throw your ass onto Netflix.
Yeah.
And now you don't know who's watching anymore.
Right.
Now, that's why it's been you can't. I'm like I told people, you can't actually report on Raw.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the numbers actually are.
Right.
Yes, live one time they had only 300,000 watching, but through the week that number got up to like 10 million.
Well, but see, Jesse, I think people have to remember right now, WWE doesn't have to worry that much about their live audience.
Well, they don't have to worry about the numbers of the TV now.
Right.
As far as Raw's
Right.
concerned.
Right. Because Raw is on Netflix, and Netflix lives mostly. Remember, Netflix is getting into the live game. It's a newer thing.
Right.
They're trying. See, remember, Jake Paul and whatever the fuck he wants to claim he's doing. By the way, bitch, do a fight. Like seriously, even if it's another fake one, just fucking do a fight. The cancellation after cancellation is getting really fucking old.
Hey, or just be real about it. You're not trying to fight actual fighters, and hey, to give him credit, he's been doing WWE more. So do it full time then.
Yeah, but anyway, Jesse, they're new to the game. Raw was the sort of intro into, okay, let's see what a weekly live thing looks like. So, Jesse, they're willing to give this time.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're trying to learn data.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing, too. They also have not lost anything. So, of course, the report came out that Disney isn't quite completely happy with the deal yet, right? And as I've been trying to tell people here, the only news that should come out of that report was they were just mostly talking about the PLE numbers.
Right, yeah.
Which, to be fair to WWE, you decided that you wanted to put it on your own fucking thing. You did that to yourself, Disney, which is why I said you should go fucking buy it.
Right.
I digress.
Right.
Because you could have just owned WWE, and that would have been the end of it.
Who was going to outbid Disney?
Besides the Saudis, nobody. And once the government got involved and got rid of that part of it, nobody.
Disney had no competition.
No.
They had none. Because, yes, Vince McMahon wanted to stay in power, but Jesse, Disney would have given you $20 billion, and even Vince can't say no to $20 billion.
I was shocked Bob Iger didn't go like, okay, I'll keep you in power. Because there's no way he didn't know. They wouldn't have investigated and known some of this shit was coming up the pike. And then Bob Iger could have just been like, Vince, I'm not fucking worried about you staying in power for long because you're going to be in trouble, and I'm just going to fire you. So I'm going to be done with it. So when it comes to this deal for WBD, really Tony Khan's biggest new worry should be they reported that the last pay-per-view did 140,000 buys, which yes is up from a couple other pay-per-views, but these numbers aren't great. I'm like, you're still charging like $40 to $50 for this shit, and yes, to still do pay-per-view buys is
well, but they're also by themselves on pay-per-view.
Well, that's the problem. So, like, when WWE PLEs happen, I move to different countries so I can watch it.
How was Uzbekistan, by the way?
Oh, fucking beautiful this time of year. You know, people don't realize the alpacas in the summer, they might stink.
Yeah.
But they are very nice creatures, man. They're gorgeous. And then, I mean, the food is delicious. But I cannot digress about my vacations. Like, I cannot.
No, yeah.
But here's the thing. And by the way, keep
mostly for
supporting
international legal reasons.
That's right. Patreon.com/13cards subject to number 2 change. Once again, that's patreon.com/13cards subject to change podcast. LLC. Please support us
For
Even
only
$1, even just $1. And trust me, the new $5 and $10 tiers that you will be getting here before the end of the year, you're gonna want to look out for that.
Yeah.
Now, really, the big thing he's gonna have to worry about is that thought in the future. Now, he did the interview, and with Ariel Wani, he was like, we really want to keep doing the pay-per-view thing. I think you're gonna get close to dead here with that.
Yeah.
Either you're going to have to put those on Netflix if they keep this company, or you're going to have to put them on Netflix.
Well, and see, Jesse, one of the biggest things I think now that I've watched that interview back and we've seen what's happened since, unfortunately, Jesse, that interview really comes off as somebody who is unfortunately running a business the way that he nostalgically wanted to 20 years ago.
Sure.
And unfortunately, Jesse, even Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. sat back and said, I got to go to the WWE Network,
it's
man.
so funny to me when I think about that interview, because I'm just like, there is no world, Tony Khan. You have an analytics company.
Yeah.
And you can't sense the overwhelming decline.
Yeah.
That's going on right now.
Well, and see, Jesse, the problem is that pay-per-view in and of itself is dying because unfortunately these. And by the way, folks, once again, I had this conversation with like 4 different people.
Let UFC fucking bear that for you.
Yeah, and
look at that. The UFC fucking moved to Peacock.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why? Because the pay-per-view numbers were shit. He can't get a fight where like 300,000 people want to buy it. So,
well, see, Jesse, the problem with the wrestling business that became the problem with everyone minus probably the NFL is, Jesse, the world of streaming became the original world of cable. When you owned your own stuff, just get all the money by creating your own thing. This is unfortunately where Watcher, the YouTube channel Watcher, fell into that little mark. Their biggest problem was how they sold going to their own streaming service, because unfortunately they were talking about, this is how we can keep the high quality video and keep our friends employed and give them livable wages, when Penguin ZO Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
When and again, he didn't even really expose them. He just told the truth of saying, like, they have like 10,000 people on Patreon spending a decent amount of money per month. And it was like, Charlie basically just told everybody it was a very tone-deaf way to say goodbye to YouTube.
Right.
When it was like, so you're going from a place where people can see you for free and you were still making a decent amount of money outside of YouTube revenue, to then going to your own thing, which unfortunately ended up blowing up in their face for a little while. They've kind of recovered now, and they're sort of back to, understanding the difference. But again, who it worked out for was Dropout.
Yeah.
When Sam Reich said, we're leaving YouTube, and they rebranded from College Humor, he set a very reasonable price, and he was a very, not tone deaf, but very to the, ear to the ground sort of guy, being like, I know this seems like a lot for all of you people, but understand that by doing this, we're going to be able to continue to bring you the high quality entertainment that you've come to know and love. And he only said it like $7.99 a fucking month.
All right.
So, and by the way, early on, that was a fucking low-ass price for that motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
But, like, unfortunately for the wrestling business and for everyone...
I'm not going to lie. I still think $30 for Netflix a month is actually still quite low.
Well, that's the other thing for me, Jesse, is everyone was bitching and moaning because it came up again during this last War Games Survivor Series. Like, I'm not paying an extra $30 a month. I'm like, you're not. Do you have the ESPN app?
Like, if you already have it, you're not paying
Not
anything.
only that, but Jesse, I actually had someone, and this is how you know they're just not listening to you, who's like, well, I don't want to pay $29.99. I'm like, I literally just told you, for the Hulu base package, for Disney Plus, all of it, and the ESPN app, it was $29.99 a month.
Right.
So you're telling me $30 is too much to pay for base Hulu, for Disney Plus, and ESPN. The fuck are you talking about?
Like I told
But AEW is charging you $39.99 for a fucking pay-per-view six times a fucking month.
Even on HBO Max, it still costs an extra $40.
Right.
I'm like, that's fucking blasphemous.
So basically, you're paying more for the pay-per-view than that entire triple bundle I just mentioned. And on top of that, you're paying a subscription cost.
Because I'm like, I'm already paying for HBO Max. Why the fuck would I pay an extra $40 for a show?
And now, Jesse,
that could be good, that might not be
And now,
good.
Jesse, as we continue on, now we get to the final sort of TV media type of question mark.
Yeah.
So we've gone through the potential sale, which, again, we're going to not delve too deep into because there is another probably year to this. We've talked about TNA, this and that, all that. Jesse, once again, we got TNA back on TV, and we're probably going to get GTA 6 before we get Ring of Honor back on weekly television. What the fuck are we doing?
This man, it was so funny, too, because it's not Shane. There's no Shane here. Okay. I'm like, all right, cool.
There's also no TV, no consistency, no good talent that I want to pay to see.
Because, by the way, you have to get the Ring of Honor app to even watch
Unfortunately, this past weekend was the best thing Ring of Honor's done since Tony bought it, and that's, oh my God, we finally beat Mercedes Moné.
By the way, really quickly, you tried to NXT Ring of Honor. So, of course, remember, NXT used to be exclusive to the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, to everyone who used to bitch about it, you're missing out, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, you should have told WWE, I'll pay fucking $25 a month for this because I get everything in the PLEs. I'll take it.
You should have just let Vince have all the money back then.
Right. Hell, you should have protested to Stephanie. Please, no. I'll pay more.
Because I'm going to tell you something. Canadians, Europeans,
they love it.
Fucking Japanese people,
love it.
They're not bitching the WWE Network still exists.
Like, yeah, I paid $10 more than I did 10 years ago, and I still get everything. I love it. Yeah,
Jesse.
So dumb, our Americans.
Jesse, I want to put a quick pin in our Ring of Honor thing for Tony and go to, when are people going to realize that, Jesse, yes, inflation became a problem. Yes, the tariffs are a problem. Jesse, the price of things has always gone up. That's how the world works.
So it's always fluctuating. That's how economy, that's how... Unfortunately, capitalism has been corrupted, but that's how capitalism works.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like...
But unfortunately, without capitalism, you don't get the growth that you see in a lot of areas.
It just depends. Somebody's always going to try to rig a system.
Yeah. You don't think that, and again, not to get political, but you don't think that not the guy who's now the mayor-elect of New York, but, like, you don't think someone's going to find a way through his socialistic ideas to still make $1 billion in New York?
Well, they might want to do it now because he's coming up with some nice fail-safes. They get voted through by the council, and it looks like they will.
Yeah.
So you got 27 days.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Because it's really all about protection. But back to pricing and shit like that. Because here's the problem with the pricing issue. So the Disney thing happens. People bitched. And then it was funny. Myself and others really started reading into it and going, guys, it's not that big of a fucking deal. All they really want you to do is subscribe to another service.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you already have, like, you have Hulu Live.
Yep.
For those
that's the thing. I tell people, $87.99, $90, whatever Allison's paying right now. It's like, I'm sorry, we don't have to pay that.
No.
But we wanted Hulu Live and commercial free or all that stuff. That was our decision.
Right.
If you just want to stick with the base package, you get pretty much 90% of what we're getting.
Because the problem with what happened with cable, and it's still around because enough people were like, I will just fucking keep cable.
Yeah.
But the problem is that companies like, I sell their internet with Spectrum, Xfinity, shit like that.
DirecTV kind of.
DirecTV,
yeah.
well, which barely exists now as a satellite company. It's now more of an app company. But
yeah.
They started to charge too much. And they were saying, hey, listen, we got to... You would understand if you're like, okay, if you're being charged more for the licensing fees, I understand as a consumer to keep watching, you might need to charge me a little bit more. I get it, right? The problem is they were lying about what the fees were.
Yep.
And so when people actually discovered, like myself, when I discovered, I'm like, wait a minute. State tax in Minnesota at the time, which was still kind of high, and it's much higher now. I should have never opened my fucking mouth 5 years ago. And there's a really good Democrat in charge of the state, but still.
Yeah, but he's not fully in charge of that anyway.
Well, he's not fully in charge of that. But even right now, I understand why he would keep it because he uses it to help us. But still, it's just like, fuck, 10%.
Despite what the president of the United States wants to say, we in Minnesota don't have a problem with the Somali community. I don't know why that.
We also don't have a problem with that governor because if we did, he wouldn't keep winning his races by close to 30 points.
His next opponent is the former CEO of My Pillow.
He's going to wipe the fucking floor with him.
With a pillow.
But back then...
That's a pillow fight that you can't win.
Right? Back then it was like...
The jokes will just start, and then they're never going to end.
He's gonna whoop most Republicans' ass in his race, but...
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like... It was 8.2%. And I would look at my Spectrum bill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you charging me 12% for fucking state tax?
Right.
What the fuck is happening? And then I would look at my bill like, why are you charging me 20% for federal? They were lying to people.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where people were like, well, fuck it. I'll just do the apps.
Yep.
And for a minute, like especially in 2020, you had like Netflix and Disney Plus and all that. You're like, dude, I spend like a third of what I was spending on cable.
Yeah.
Plus now I just have internet.
Yeah.
I'm saving like $80 a month, which was great.
Yeah.
But like, and now everyone's like, see, now we're going back to the prices of cable. And I'm like, but the prices of cable are actually still too fucking high. So you're never really going to win on pricing. But you also, you as a consumer sometimes can hurt yourself by bitching about certain things like, I don't know, Disney getting in on having WWE PLEs for an extra $30 when you're already paying $30 for Netflix.
Yeah.
And then, like, even Stephanie McMahon with her first podcast, she hasn't done it since, by the way, but, talking about the VPNs.
Yeah.
Like, you get a VPN, you can still watch
By the way,
Netflix.
I watched the episode with AJ Lee. Stephanie is so fucking good at what she... And I know I've said that before because I've watched a lot of those.
I think really the most beautiful part about that with her and...
She let AJ talk about what AJ wanted to talk about, which really turned into a sort of mental health journey.
On top of the fact that clearly that is a relationship that needed to be mended. Because as they talked about, there really was some bad feelings between the two.
Well, they opened with it, basically.
Right.
They just said, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way.
Right.
But I also think that Stephanie really is a mom at the end of the day.
I also want to say this about Stephanie. Every time I watch that podcast, it's a reminder.
She should still be in charge of WWE.
She should still be in charge of WWE.
Yeah.
Because it's not just great business acumen, which she clearly has.
Yes.
It's understanding people.
Oh, yeah.
It's the one reason why when I talk about Bob Iger, I talk about him glowingly. I could expect that if me and him sat in a room, we would argue about at least 70% of things.
Yeah.
And yet I would always come to a decision to listen to what that man has to say because I'd be like, but you do get people.
Well, but Jesse,
and you're right about this, and you're right about this.
Well, but Jesse, remember, we've chronicled on the show 1,000 times. JPEG broke the cardinal rule that Iger had to make it into the biggest entertainment company in the world. We are a people-first business.
Right.
The parks are the platform that we base everything off of. Everyone smiles. Nobody fucking gets sad. If there is a cast member who goes through a rough interaction, you give them an hour break if that's what it takes to calm them down, because when they get back out there, you know what they're doing? They're back to smiling and they're making the next person happy, because Jesse, happy people spend money.
Yes, which that's what Disney's supposed to be, the happiest place on earth. So it's
that's a tagline if there ever was one, wrestling fans.
Here's the thing, man. It's insane to watch those interviews Stephanie does on the podcast.
Yeah.
and then you hear about some of the issues. You know, if we move away from AEW for a second, because by the way, some shit came out from Sarah Stock, and I'm like, here's the thing: I don't care how disgruntled she is. Any other company, we would be taking this incredibly seriously.
Yeah.
And it's incredible how many people are trying to dismiss it, but we'll get into that.
I'll get all
the
yeah. I'll get all that stuff pulled up.
But when it was her, it was Nick Khan. I'm like, man, think about how the company not only flourished creatively,
yeah,
and then, you know, of course, Triple H brought people back and shit like that.
Yeah.
But, like, you just got a general sense. Everyone's just like, man, this is the best place in the fucking world to be. Because, like, you have someone at the top who's motherly. She doesn't come, when she comes to shows, even though she's our boss,
yeah,
she's not coming in like, who's fucking up? It's, how you been? How you feeling? I heard you were hurt. Like, it's very motherly, and like,
yeah.
Triple H does the same thing.
I don't know
and
who.
it's just like,
I don't know
wow.
I don't know who she got that from, because based on her parents.
And by the way, I'm always just like, based on the parents, I am proud of the two people, how they turned out, and that's Shane and Stephanie, because I don't know how they turned out that way.
And by the way, Stephanie was very honest in the AJ interview, saying if the girls want to try wrestling, 100% we would be stupid not to give them an opportunity, because
Sure.
that's kind of why we're all here.
Right.
But then number two, they know the 8 ball that they're behind.
Right.
Because the truth is, Jesse, the difference between Triple H and other nepotistic people in this business, Jesse, that man loves to watch people throw up in a trash can. He makes you know that he knows what it takes to make it in this business.
Yes.
And that's why he was called The Game,
Yeah.
was because, Jesse, he knows you get to the top with the right work, not a certain work. Like, there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
And he gets it.
Yeah.
And you don't think he's not going to turn a blind eye to what WWE NXT does to his daughters if they want to get into it?
Oh, listen, he's going to tell, he'll probably tell Sean himself, you are not allowed to go lie to my daughters.
No, God, no.
You treat them like you treat everyone fucking else
Yeah.
here. As a matter of fact, if you're a little bit harsher, good.
Yeah.
So they understand, like, it takes a lot to do this.
You know, Jesse, I also think they'll be okay, because here's the truth. Charlotte has the respect of the whole locker room.
Yeah.
Her name alone carries more than any of those people were ever doing that business.
Because, like I told you, despite some of her, like, relationships with, like, now Becky and stuff like that, and that's fine because they were competitive at the top. That was like even I'll give Rick this. He said, like, listen, that used to be normal. You guys are acting like this is a story.
Stone Cold and Rock hated each other.
And he talked about,
they never ran in the same social circles because they were both fighting for the same thing.
And so, like, he was just like, he's like, I actually had to tell her, like, baby, this is how it used to always be. He's like, yeah, me and the guys now are good because we all got what we needed out of the business.
Ric Flair didn't have a great relationship with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat when Ricky was trying to, move on up. Rick had a business relationship with those guys.
Arn Anderson had the interview after AEW started, and we talked about it a little bit. I think this was 2022.
Okay.
And he said, me and Rick weren't even that close until after I finally retired.
Right.
Because I fucking hated him.
Right. But unfortunately, if you wanted to be at the top, you had to attach yourself to Ric Flair at the time.
You had to deal with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And he used to say, like, I was not easy to deal with. And he had to explain that to his daughter. And now, of course, now her and Becky seem to have a decent friendship again.
Yeah.
It probably will never be as close as it once was.
Oh, God, no.
But guess what? You were competitive.
Yeah. Jesse, okay, let's take it back to something that you're intimately familiar with, and me, myself, as, at this point, probably a professional metal historian. Let's just be honest for how many fucking times I've spent 8 hours just researching shit. Jesse, unfortunately, the big four of metal were not the best of friends when they were trying to come up.
No, and to be fair, Slayer didn't actually like Metallica coming up.
Slayer didn't like anybody.
But they definitely didn't like Metallica because they thought they were they thought Metallica was prissy.
Yeah. I mean, they are Slayer.
Kerry thought, and by the way, he's right now about Lars.
Yeah.
But back then, he was like, Lars is a pussy. Like he hated them.
Yeah.
But nowadays, yeah, they're friends because they're like, well, we've already made it. We all have families now.
Yeah.
Like, there's no because there's no competition there. You can kind of look back and go, man, you guys did really accomplish a lot.
And the truth is that, like I said, playing on the same bill as them, letting everyone know that when Metallica goes on last, unfortunately, you're not playing over Metallica unless it's an Ozzy tribute show.
I think the only guy that still harbors any feelings really over any of that is Dave Mustaine. He's about it.
But to be fair, Dave has sold more Metallica records just by being a hater than fucking, I think, Lars and the other guys.
It is so funny because,
Megadeth didn't do bad.
And I think his daughter at some point was trying to get him to understand, being second place to a band you helped create should make you feel pretty damn good.
And not to mention the fact, Jesse, I really hate to tell people that are on Dave's side about this. Sure, you wrote the first 2. What about the next 6? They did okay.
They did really
You had nothing to do with the Black Album. That's their highest selling record of all time.
By the way, plus people would think your music in the 90s was better than theirs. So, in every which way, I don't know. He's also become the dude, the old man, get off my lawn, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I that's why I found that interview fascinating. And like I said, every time she does something with her podcast, Stephanie, I am just always reminded,
what I loved about
I hate Vince McMahon.
Yeah, exactly. What I loved about the AJ interview was she let AJ tell her story. Yeah. She let AJ go, and by the way, AJ admitted, you know what? A lot was going on, and I was not in a mental health place I should have been. But Jesse, AJ Lee is also the prime example of when you grow up and you learn and you get properly diagnosed and you go through proper channels. There's no reason to not look back and apologize for what you did. It doesn't make you any less of a person.
Right.
It doesn't. Unfortunately, you and I know a lot of people that still can't do that, but.
I mean, like she said, the fact that she got a chant about mental health mattering to a wrestling fan, she was like, I was actually shocked.
Yeah.
But AJ, you have, and I think Stephanie finally had her understand this, because you've been such a fighter about it.
Yeah.
These last 8 years.
Yeah.
I think that's why more than anything, people wanting you to come back to the ring.
Yeah.
They respect you as a person.
Oh yeah.
And to an umpteenth degree. So,
and also, it was really interesting to watch them address the elephant in the room, which wasn't even Punk and Paul.
No.
It was between them. It was the tweets.
Yeah.
And by the way, they put them on the screen. They just aired it out. Was that they were both fighting for the same thing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they came from 2 different worlds. Yeah. One was talent. One was corporate.
Because remember Triple H talked about this with Punk. And he was like, when we had the conversation, it finally came out between us that even Punk finally understood. He was, especially after everything he went through in AEW.
Yeah,
where it's just he came from the side of it of he was being groomed by his father-in-law to do this,
right,
on a very different level.
And
but it's not like he didn't understand our plight. He was trying to come at it from a different.
And
angle.
Unfortunately, Jesse, Punk was trying what Bryan Danielson is now doing, which is, you can get major television with an indie style, and Punk was like, yeah, it's not gonna, no.
Punk understood, I'm sure we'll talk about Bryan a little bit, but Punk understood something that I think I'm sensing Bryan does not get, and that is I love our hardcore fan base.
Yeah,
we always love that they always show up. They're great.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got to make sure that they keep showing up. But you also have to think about the wider audience.
So this relates to Punk because it's the same music scene. There was an episode of Bar Rescue one time, and the guy actually never got John to rescue the place because he stupidly looked at John Taffer and was like, well, yeah, if you can't make the punk rock scene work, maybe you're not as good as you think you are.
Yes, I remember this
And
guy.
Jesse, the part of that isn't even what he said to John. It's when you look at the basis for the Vandals and say, well, you're not punk rock. Dude's been in the business for 25 years.
Yeah, he was an arrogant son of a bitch.
You're looking at and by the way, the basis for the Vandals is also one of the managing partners of the Vandals. Right. So you're looking at a guy who's been in your scene for years. Jesse, the Vandals are one of the biggest punk rock bands of all time, and you're telling him that you don't know what you're talking about punk rock? Who are you talking to?
Man, that show, and by the way, I'm going to bring it back to wrestling because I remember that guy was almost like the guy in Chicago who had the bar, And all John was trying to get him to understand is the demographic has changed, but you can still do a baseball bar.
Yeah.
And because, by the way, he had prime real estate right in front of Wrigley Field.
Do you have any idea how many people would kill for that fucking real estate?
But he was such a fucking drunk.
Yeah.
He didn't even care. So he ended up doing the bar for the people.
Yeah.
And they all ended up quitting because he's such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I think the bar did finally go under.
Yeah.
But, like, to come back to wrestling on that, you can't be so arrogant.
Right.
To think, like, somebody can't bring you some ideas and you can't go, okay, I got to try something because what I'm doing is not working.
And that was the thing that Punk and it's funny, Jesse. Punk even
cough Vince McMahon.
Yeah. He's even said though, I sat back, and again, I'm paraphrasing Punk's words, but basically what Punk did was when he went to a place that was doing the indie shit and realized how unprofessional and ultimately in the indie scene, and unfortunately we've seen it ourselves, there's a lot more greed and corruption than maybe even in WWE when it comes to people trying to hold on to a spot.
That's why the whole Sarah Stock thing is so believable.
But it's like, Jesse, unfortunately what he watched was a bunch of self-serving, ingrate losers. And again, Kenny withstanding, because I think Kenny's just been, unfortunately, friends with the wrong people. But, like, Jesse, he saw right through Matt and Nick.
Right.
But he also realized in WWE there were sharks, but they were professional about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They fucking swallowed their tongue.
And like he said,
they didn't go to fucking Dave Meltzer. Dude, Dave Meltzer now, the way that he thinks, would have killed to have WWE guys come and talk to him the way that, like, the Bucks talk to him all the fucking time now.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because, like, I remember his first interview. Like, it was a few months after he returned to WWE.
Yeah.
And, like he said, he talked to Roman.
Yeah.
And because he was just like, I get the landscape, and I love what it is now.
Yeah.
You know? Because he's like, they're still leaders. They're not going to let you step the fuck out of line, but the way they do it is probably much healthier than the way the guys did it back in the day, and maybe even myself.
Who was it? Bailey recently had an interview and said Roman watches everybody else's stuff.
Yeah.
AJ Styles watches everyone else's stuff.
And one of the
Seth
big names,
watches everyone else's stuff.
One of the big names that Roman brought up, and of course, God bless his soul, he was just like, you know, he had told Punk, he was like, it was crazy when Vince let go of Bray, because Bray was also the positive locker room guy. The guy when guys and gals would come back because they had a bad match.
Yeah.
He'd go put the, hey, it's one.
Yep.
You're going to go out there, you're going to do great next time.
Now, I know he's not here right now, but he is on his way.
Yeah.
I will give Leroy credit. That I will say he got from Afa and Sika. That he got from his family.
Yeah.
But I've also seen Roman evolve beyond the Inoue Fatu dynasty.
Basically, you don't always, and by the way, we've seen this in indie locker rooms.
Yeah.
Who the leaders are.
Yeah.
And I won't disclose names because I don't want to give away not only their real names but their wrestling names.
Yeah.
But like even in DPW, I every time I see him, I'm just like, yeah, that guy's a leader. And he's great. He's great at making sure that everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And you do need that for a company to be successful. Even in WWE,
yeah.
Clearly the locker room is still decent.
Yeah.
They're very good, and yeah, there's some issues with creative, but there's not on the Vince level, and that's why I keep having to fucking announce, like, it's not on the Vince level. Is there some frustration, like Karen talked about? Yes, but it's not on the, well, if you don't do it my way, you're shut out. That's not what happens anymore.
Triple H, fuck Bobby Lashley.
Right.
Bobby Lashley said, Hunter didn't say do it or leave.
Right.
He said, here's what we've got. Bobby said that doesn't work for me, and they just politely walked away. And unfortunately, with what's now happening with the Hurt Syndicate, I mean, they were good when they came in, but now they've just become.
But by the way, that's the thing. It's even when things aren't going.
Let me ask you this:
happy?
Is the Hurt Syndicate only in AEW because MVP won't shut the fuck up? Because that motherfucker says he has a lot to say, but never says a goddamn word.
He's black male Lana at this point. Who now speaks positively of WWE and all that shit. Trying to get out of. She says she's not trying to get a job back. I think the only way they bring her back is as his manager, and I don't think he wants that.
No.
Even though she was doing some decent stuff as a wrestler.
She's pregnant now anyway, so.
Oh, she did say that.
Yeah.
Congrats to those. Even though they were, I don't know if they fully annulled their marriage anyway.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, when it comes to the Hurt business, and would he probably be happier just, like, sitting on the sidelines for 6 months until, Triple H and the crew were like, Bobby, got something. Think you're going to love it.
Well, no, Jesse, that's the other thing about people now getting on WWE for how long Randy's been on the sideline. Well, first of all, Randy clearly had fun with I Show Speed. That's number one. And number two, Jesse, the guys who are older, and I'm not talking older and never had success, like let's say an Orange Cassidy, a 41 now, never got the big deals, but a Sheamus, a Randy, why would they want to work 200 days at their ages with the success they already have?
Randy kind of gave away his thoughts on things on the bus with Cody.
Yeah.
Because he basically said, like, yeah, and this is a guy I looked up to in the business, Triple H and all that, but also, yeah, it's kind of nice when you're not just going to get put in some bullshit.
Yeah.
And, yeah, of course, yeah, I'm still getting paid, but, yeah, I get sent home and all that. But I'm not doing bullshit I don't really want to do.
Right.
Because if it was Vince, you'd be doing. If you don't do the bullshit, then you get nothing.
Right.
And I don't know if we're going to get into our theories on if Theory is the masked man or all that later on today. But
yeah.
That's why I kept telling people, I'm like, why would Austin Theory go anywhere?
Yeah.
He knows he's a Triple H guy.
Yeah.
Paul loves him. Like,
and unfortunately, Jesse,
he just has to be patient.
And Jesse, the unfortunate part.
Also, the one I'm kind of sick of hearing about. Why in the fuck would Bayley show up to AEW?
What? She's a better worker and a bigger star than anybody there except maybe Tony Storm.
She's a big time leader in the WWE locker room. There's been no sense of like negativity coming from her from the WWE side.
She's frustrated because she's hit a wall creatively, which unfortunately, Jesse, name one person in this business who never hit a wall creatively.
Well, she had, and now she said she's happy doing the
Lyra stuff is hilarious.
Yeah, she loves doing it.
It's Dude, on Friday, Allison thought it was such a fucking vibe for Lyra to be like, we're good. I think. Right now. In this moment, we're good.
She's basically trying to speed up the process. And by the way, helping a great young talent come up. And
Lyra has shown so much more personality in having to basically pick, because she's basically taking the Tatum Paxley stuff and applying it to Bayley. But this is the formula. Jesse, A plus B doesn't always equal C.
No,
sorry. A plus B doesn't equal D.
Right.
A plus B.
These things have been so. No one knows about her contract. Trust me. When myself, Sean Ross Sapp, and Mike Johnson know, we'll let you know. But it hasn't been an issue for no one from who I know who is in WWE has said anything. They anytime I ask like, hey, any word on like if Bayley would want to go or anything, and it's just like very happy here.
She's
very
cool.
Happy here.
Her whole career is based off of WWE.
I think she's a lot like AJ. I think when she's done, she probably wants to be a teacher. She wants to be a coach.
She just had a seminar where she flew all these ladies out herself. She paid for everything.
And like WWE's going to pay AJ good fucking money to work part-time to be a coach.
Or a producer, yeah.
Right. Like what?
By the way, Jesse, the difference between a Bobby and a Daniel. Bryan Danielson tried forever to get cleared. Bobby Roode clearly doesn't give too many fucks that he's cleared. He's enjoying the fucking ride.
He has said that he probably could do one more match. They have pitched him.
Yeah.
A couple matches if he wants to do them. He's very happy being a producer.
Yeah. Because even Bobby Roode, now that he doesn't have to fight with the Sharks, looks back and says, yeah, I had a pretty good run.
Listen, that TNA run is legendary.
The NXT run.
It was great.
Was fantastic. No one talks about it, but it was so good.
And listen, the best thing he was able to do in the Vince McMahon era was the Dirty Dogs, but that shit was so good.
Yeah.
People now look back on it finally like, man, I kind of miss the Dirty Dogs. They were kind of dope.
Yeah.
Which I think why people miss Nick Nemeth. But like I told you, he's going into the Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't even want to fucking hear about it.
Yeah.
But it's so weird when she gets brought up to go to AEW. I'm like, why in the fuck would she want to go?
Jesse, Stephanie Vaquer clearly was never going to sign because here's the deal. As soon as she got the phone call from Sean, she goes, "Oh, I'm the female Cody now. You're calling me." Because they already said no to her once.
Yeah.
They're now calling
They did
her.
WWE South America, Brazil. They cut her.
Yeah.
Before the program ended,
Yeah.
they cut her.
Yeah.
And she was so good. Triple H says it because it's true. Listen,
Make us call you.
If we cut you, right? If they make me come to call to cut you,
Yeah.
don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Talk to Cody. Talk to Drew McIntyre. Go make yourself unfucking deniable. We're like, hey, so
do you realize how many
you know how you wanted like $1 million? Yeah, we're gonna give you $3 million now.
Do you realize how many people in the last couple of months I have shut down on the internet by going, you guys really think Drew went to Triple H and said, I want a 5-year deal, I want a pay raise, and I want 7 world titles? No. He said, I want X amount of years, I want a bit of a pay raise, and I just don't want to be in this fucking rut.
Basically, like he said it to, it wasn't Ariel, but he said it in an interview. He's like, all I wanted was to do interesting shit like Roman gets to do.
Yeah.
And then he's, by the way, we're spun back around. He's right. Great story, sometimes muddling story. Great story, and now he's in a great story with the world champion or WWE champion Cody Rhodes.
Jesse,
that's all he's ever wanted.
Jesse, when you were going down the list,
by the way, he also now has 2 photos with Brock Lesnar in a gallery.
He does. But no, Jesse, what's super interesting to me about when you listen to Jim's breakdown, because they had like 30 or 40 guys, and they had to break it down to 20, right?
Yeah.
Jesse, when you listen to Jim talk, because, like I said, the interesting part about the guy that I talked to that we're going to have the show on at one point is when you listen to Jim talk about stuff that isn't like reviewing modern wrestling,
Right.
It's so fascinating. Yeah. Because, Jesse, what you have to understand is the original Tiger Mask, we'll use as an example here. Jesse, I don't think people realize how short of a run he had in Japan.
It was only 3 years.
But he reinvented the fucking business in that period of time, and then he was just out.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Which is why they've had so many people under the mask.
Right.
But they couldn't let it go.
But see, Jesse, that's the thing about real professionals in this industry is, Jesse, when you worked in Dallas back in the days, it wasn't about being the WCCW champion. It was about, wait a minute, I get to work 7 straight months with the Von Erichs.
You're going to make money.
I get to work 7 straight months with the hottest motherfucking name, not just in wrestling at that time, but in Texas?
Yeah.
That's what the business was.
Right.
AEW should have been, I get to work with Chris Jericho for 3 months. That's what it should have been.
Let's talk about it. It should have been, man, I get to do the Chris Jericho thing. All right, cool. And it should have gave people a chance to get pushed and be solidified as superstars outside of WWE. I get to work with a guy like Kenny, who's an international superstar.
I wanted to latch on Kenny Omega to be like, you are I have finally had to not admit this, but like explain to people, Kenny Omega is up there in the wrestling circles with a Roman Reigns, with a Seth, with a Drew McIntyre, because Jesse, that main event run in New Japan is all-time shit.
I got to tell people, think about how he signed, right? Triple H would have had a real dilemma, right?
Yeah.
Do we wait the year and crown Cody?
Yeah.
Or do we have Kenny do it and then have Kenny beat Cody? because Kenny was that kind of dude.
Can you imagine?
Kenny.
You know what's funny
Kenny
to me?
Was in their main event, you'd be like, yeah, he deserves to be there. He's great.
You know what's hilarious to me is Kenny Omega always talks about the Wrestle Kingdom when he came out with the sawed-off shotgun-looking thing,
right.
and he had the Terminator thing.
Yeah.
And he said the company was more behind me, so I got more in my presentation. And I'm like, Kenny, day one, Triple H would have given you as much pyro and fucking lighting as you fucking wanted, my man.
Like you were like even Vince, I think would like you're Kenny fucking on. Even Vince apparently had probably saw enough of that when he went. Listen, I don't completely like everything, but the guy's a star.
Well, but also Vince never gave a shit about fundamentals anyway.
No. But he just like he saw a star.
Jesse, Vince.
And by the way, the one thing the Bucks will never have, he did offer you a contract. Now, it would have been interesting to see you sign those contracts and see what would have happened.
Yeah.
Well, Vince damn sure offered them.
But no, Jesse, it's the other thing when you listen to Jim go down
Even
the
after
list.
the cease and desist,
Yep.
all this other shit, he was just like, Vince liked disruptors.
Yep.
It was what, like Paul said, he fucking hated me and Eric. But he liked the fact that we did it. He's a sick fuck.
Yep.
He liked the fact that we were like, fuck you, we're going to push back.
You know, Jesse, when you listen to Jim talk about all these guys, unfortunately, there were a lot of guys that Jim's like, fuck, work was shit, as a person was shit, but fuck this guy, that guy, and this guy pushed him for 6 months because, holy shit, he fucking put butts in seats.
Yeah.
Jesse, the wrestling business, unfortunately, probably is 20% actually could work. That's actually how the wrestling business goes.
Right.
20% could work.
It's astonishing to me because, like, when I think of AEW at the start, and I remember I gave Tony Khan all the credit for being like, I'm going to make Chris Jericho the top guy I build around.
Yeah.
Smart. Everyone knows that name.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who that guy is, future Hall of Fame. Everyone knows who he is. So I had no problem with that. But I was just like, okay, how do you use Chris, though, to build the rest of your guys? How are you going to use Kenny to build the rest of your guys? Because that was always going to be the thing.
Unfortunately, Jesse, there's not a single person that has worked with Kenny Omega in AEW who is better off for having done it. And that is so fucking sad.
The worst one is Chris Jericho. Because he actually put in the fucking effort with certain guys. A la
Orange
Cassidy.
Yeah.
Because even Chris Jericho was just like, if we can put this guy over, the kids already love him. We're gonna get more families. That's big.
But in the end, the promoter didn't want families. He wanted sickos. Unfortunately. All right, Jesse. You asked, or I thought I had these for you way back. Turns out it was a different set of ratings. We have Dave's ratings for Full Gear.
Okay.
All right. You want to start with the pre-show?
Go for it.
$200,000 four-way tag team match where the Bang Bang Gang won. 2 stars.
He probably said it was unnecessary because it was unnecessary.
Boom and Doom beating Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. 2.25 star.
That's interesting.
He didn't even rate Kingston and Hook versus the Workhorsemen.
Wow.
Not a dud. Didn't rate.
Okay.
CMLL World Trios titles. 3.75 stars.
That was
That was El Sky Team,
That's right,
Dorado, Neon, and Mystico. By the way, we wish Neon the best with his injury.
Yeah.
And versus the Don Callis family of Hechichero, Okada, and Kenosuke.
That's right.
Now let's get to the main show, although the one match started the end of the pre-show into the
Right.
Anyway. Pac and Darby Allin was a 4-star match. Which maybe I could understand, but Jesse, it was also the 4th time in a month.
Then he beat him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the 4-way women's tag team match only got 3 stars.
So Dave hates women wrestling too.
It's
not just Tony Khan.
Jesse, this is the part where I couldn't even understand Dave's logic I understand it's a personal star rating, but you've said on the show when you have pull in an industry, you need to be honest with your shit. That's why Rolling Stone very rarely reviews every musical album that comes out. If you get a write-up in Rolling Stone, Rolling Stone knows they can't review every album that comes out every year. They can't do that, Jesse.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. They can pick the top 40. They can pick 100. That's fine.
Sure.
But Jesse, how many fucking albums come out every fucking year? Like,
well, especially back then, like that's too much music.
Jesse, I hate to be that guy. FTR versus Brodito was a 5-star match. So it was rated higher than Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle.
That's in his history. That's in his history of ratings. Even Will Ospreay has called that out.
4.75 was WrestleMania 21. Jesse, that's a 4-star match walking in the fucking building. Kurt and Shawn just have to not botch for 20 minutes.
You could rate that 1 out of 10 and it's 100. That match is classic.
Especially considering, Jesse, they built it by, I think, facing each other face-to-face twice.
By the way, you know who pissed me off recently when it came to that match? Shawn Michaels. You know what Shawn Michaels said recently? He's like, I was talking with Kurt and I was going over that match, and he's like, I apologize to Kurt because I didn't give him my best effort. I'm like, nigga, if that's a bad effort, we got no shot. That was a bad effort from you. No wonder everyone like Jim Cornette hated you. Like, bro, you're too good.
Jesse, Owen Hart, Eddie Guerrero, and Shawn Michaels. What was the one thing everyone always said? They could look you in the eye and say, I'm going to go out there and half-ass it. Next thing you know, you're in a fucking barn burner. That's not okay.
I'm like, I get why Jim Cornette got mad at him all the time as a booker. Man, guys, I'm sorry. That wasn't my best effort. What the fuck are you talking about, Shawn?
That was the best match of the night.
I don't even know why we put a championship match on after you. That was stupid. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Jesse, in the day before social media, let me ask you this question.
That's crazy.
Jesse, let's go back to WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
Remember the card. The ascendance of John Cena, all that shit.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone in that crowd in the age before social media, in the age before pundits, would have given a rat's hairy ass if John Cena would have had that magical moment and then Triple H comes out and then you get Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle? No one would have said boo to a goose. They would have just enjoyed the fact that they got Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels.
People would have looked at that card like it was the greatest WrestleMania of all time because of the way, to be prepared events, because of the way it ended. Yeah, but man, that's one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. Guys, you're just thinking of one match, but I get it.
And for him to be like, I'm sorry, Kurt.
I had to apologize to Kurt. It wasn't my best effort. Nigga, what are you talking about? Seriously, if I was in NXT with Kurt or with Shawn, but I don't want to pro wrestle anymore. Because if you can look at that match and think you half-assed it, I'm out.
They teach that match in wrestling schools.
People watch that match and go, I could maybe be half as good. And you're like, that wasn't my best effort. Man, fuck you. I quit.
But yeah, Jesse, so yeah, FTR and Brodito, because Dave is like, well, it fit the room. No, Dave. No.
I think it's a 4.5 match. I do think it's a 4.5 match.
But Jesse, unfortunately, 4.5 is like a good match these days. But Jesse, you can't go giving 5s just because it fit the room.
Also, here's my problem with AEW. And now even like the guy who used to fucking overly defend it, who's now been on their ass the last 2 years, JD from New York.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
A good match bored me. It's like I told people. I'm like, by the way, JD, just admit you listen, because he said my line. I still remember seeing the second Transformer movie, the second one, and for the first time, I was bored watching explosions.
Yeah.
I'm like, Michael Bay, thank you.
Because unfortunately, Michael Bay's joke now is he just blows the fuck out of everything.
I'm like, Michael Bay, thank you. I'm bored of ass and titties and explosions. Thank you.
See, Jesse, that's why
I'm bored.
See, Jesse, I think the measure of a good booker is the level of talent that is willing to work for you. Because, Jesse, what is the one thing Quentin Tarantino has over a lot of directors like Michael Bay? Jesse, he makes a phone call, and some of the best actors in Hollywood say, "Don't care what the script is. Let's go."
Because he's that good.
Yeah.
It's
He only has, 9 films out, and I think he said he's only going to do 10.
bro. I mean, he said some stupid shit about Paul Dano recently, but
Yeah.
I think of all the Tarantino films, and I can only think of one that I kind of didn't like, and I think a lot of people didn't like. Otherwise, his collection of films were just classic.
Well,
It's the old Snoop Dogg adage of, this motherfucker don't miss.
No.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, and Jesse, even he's slightly over the top, but it's where the over the top is.
And listen, there's some
Because to be fair, up until Django blew up Samuel L. Jackson, Jesse, you didn't know it was a Tarantino film, but when he blew up that blood, guts, the whole night, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Tarantino.
Yeah.
That's Tarantino.
Yeah. And of course, they're about to re-release Kill Bill as one film. I bet you it's gonna make $300 million.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's a film, they're 2 films that came out fucking years ago.
Yeah.
But they're classic.
When he does his last film, Jesse, he's gonna call Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson, all those guys, and they're just gonna be like,
don't care.
Don't care.
When do I have to be there?
When and where are you filming? When and where are you filming?
Because he's that good.
Christopher Waltz, he was a no-name actor in Germany that some of the top directors in Germany.
He used to be an action star in Germany, yeah.
Well, no, Jesse, they said he can do bit parts, but he can't be the guy. And then we all saw Inglourious Bastards, and we were like, who's this motherfucker?
He was so good it was uncomfortable.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
People know what 2 scenes I'm talking about. He was so good it was uncomfortable. God, no, but seriously, to me it's a 4.5 match. But the problem is, and JD said it, I'm starting to get bored of 4-star matches, and that's not good.
It's interesting. I gotta have to invoke.
Because there's nothing after that.
When we get to the main event, remind me if I forget, but I have to invoke Cornette here because Cornette made a very good point about the main event, and we'll get to it. Next up was the Casino Gauntlet match. That got 4 stars.
Yeah.
And my biggest problem with this isn't even the winner. Jesse, the amount of people... Jesse, I hate to be that guy. Outside of Lashley and Shelton... Mm-hmm. There were no stars outside of Orange Cassidy. It was a jobber battle royal.
None.
Unfortunately, that's just the facts.
By the way, you're also watching that match reminded, AEW, you should feel blessed that you have Shelton Benjamin. Use them. Do what WWE never completely did. Use them.
Jesse, do you know how many people I show randomly and I'm like, I'm going to survey you for my podcast. How old do you think this motherfucker is? Jesse, I've been given 25. I'm not fucking kidding. And I'm like, he's been in the business for 25 years.
Right.
Shelton's a fucking just animal.
Dude, him and Brock are about the same age. And Brock looks closer to retirement than Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin looks like he could go 10 more years.
I know. It's crazy.
It's insane.
He's so good.
So good. Next up, this I got a problem with. So this match, Jesse, I'm going to give you the rating before I give you the match because this rating, according to Dave, is on par with his rating of Shawn Michaels and Triple H. So 4 3/4 stars. Kyle O'Reilly versus Jon Moxley, no holds barred.
What did he give this?
4 3/4 stars. I told you, I'm going to give you the rating first. So 4 3/4 stars is what he gave Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. And now, according to Dave Meltzer, Kyle O'Reilly and Jon Moxley in what that match was, which I fucking remember it sadly very vividly, that was a 4 3/4. So basically, that was as good, if not better, than what anything Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Ric Flair ever did.
I would have given it 2.5.
I think you're being kind at 2.5.
And that's because of the other guy, not Jon Moxley.
Yeah. Because Kyle puts in a 2.5 work ethic.
I am tired of Jon Moxley. It's the same fucking thing from him.
And now, Jesse, you, me, we don't matter. anything we say, trying to be nice, trying to help a kid's career. Jesse, we don't mean anything because he now has a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer. Kyle Fletcher's got a 5-star match losing to Mark Briscoe, but he still doesn't have a fucking title or a fucking run anywhere. So that was better than Shawn Michaels versus...
I want every wrestling commentator, podcaster, live streamer. I want you guys to use my audio from this show. We're going to try to actually post it out again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Send it to Zappy. He'll use it.
And I want people to understand Dave Meltzer is a shill.
Yeah.
This is not a 5-star match. It's a great match. It's not a 5-star. You know, he used to give 5 stars to a lot of things in Japan because...
Jesse, this is where I'm going to let you know. I'm going to, actually, for a future show here coming up, I'm going to give you and Leroy the list of every 5-star match that Dave has ever given. And we're going to take a decent amount of chunk out of the show, and we're going to sit there, and we're going to look at the differences from what the era you're talking about to now.
Because you're talking about story-based, great
Did
matches.
Dynamite Kid Tiger Mask ever get a fucking 5?
I don't know. I would have to go look.
Those matches changed the business.
I know. I would have to go look, though.
Even Brian
I can't remember right now.
Yeah. Even Brian Last will tell you, in the tape trading days, that's what you were trying to get, was Tiger Mask versus fucking Dynamite Kid.
A lot of that stuff in Japan where, people were like, he's just a Japan stand. I'm like, yeah, but if you watch a lot of that, it was great story coming into it, a great match, great story during the match, and then you had an idea of the story when the match was over.
Right.
So I understood why it was so gripping to him to sometimes give those 6 out of 5 and all that.
Uh-huh.
Kyle Fletcher's a dead character.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jesse, you and I both said it. Why should I give a fuck about Kyle Fletcher?
I love Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even go to WWE. I would love to see Kyle Fletcher in Japan again as a singles guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think they would push him to the moon.
He doesn't even need... He could be the next Kenny, skip the Super Junior, and go right to the heavyweight division.
Because Gato and Jado love him.
Yeah.
Because it was especially the stuff in the Empire.
Yeah. He could be the leader of the Empire over there now.
Yeah, but right now in AEW, he's a dead
Unfortunately, Jesse, what we learned, and this is what hurts it more, what we learned during the rivalry, he's on par with Will Ospreay in ring. But unfortunately, you didn't fucking show us that. You unfortunately buried the fucking kid.
When we talk about the word bury, what it means is like they have no momentum. They have... That's why it's always funny. Like people will say, hey, LA Knight got buried. No, LA Knight will be fine. That was a bad decision. I am gonna hate on Triple H on that. That was a bad decision because if you're trying to make sure a guy is elevated after beating John Cena, Gunther's fine in his position.
Right.
It could have really helped.
I agree. But at the same time, I do think John asked for it. I mean, I still think they're
maybe John probably asked for it. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. He has said he has allowed Triple H to kind of do the tournament thing to really build the future.
Sure.
But I still think Gunther was a bad decision.
Well,
now.
Yeah, but back to this.
That's why LA Knight isn't buried. He'll be fine. Everyone understands it was just a bad decision.
Yeah.
People will make more of it than what they should. It's just a bad decision.
But see, Jesse, that's a one-night bad decision. Kyle Fletcher
you brought me some dunkers. How sweet. Continue.
Yeah, Jesse, Kyle Fletcher is 6 months of this?
He gets no reaction now.
Yes, we know you're here, Leroy. You can make a grand entrance.
Set it up there, and I'll move in a moment. Set up my mic as we're talking.
Yeah.
But it's the thing. Hopefully, by the way, the recital was beautiful. Leroy's finally here, everyone.
Yeah, Leroy's here, guys. We didn't.
Well, hopefully it went well.
Yes.
So here's the thing. It's because it's not like me and Zach are against
Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher, not at all. We love him, but that's the frustrating problem. Is now he's a character.
He needs to come out to Dead on Arrival by Fall Out Boy because that's what he fucking is.
He's got no momentum anymore.
No.
And you gave that a 5-star?
5-star match.
Listen.
I love Mark. We all love Mark Briscoe with all our fucking heart and soul.
And it was a great match, and Mark's great. It took too long, and now we lost one half of the brothers, but it took too long for anyone to really give them the opportunity that they have deserved for 15 years.
Right,
now.
yeah.
But this is shill shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jesse, this one I'm not shocked about because of who I'm about to say is in the match. Jurassic Express versus the Bucks with Kenny and Josh Alexander. 4.5.
He probably gave it a 4 just because he was in the match alone.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. 4.5 for that.
Josh Alexander is a nobody in AEW.
Hey, Jesse, let me steal a line from you for a minute if I can.
Go ahead.
Talk about it.
This dude is he's not a bad wrestler. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
His character is nobody.
No.
He's gonna go nowhere.
No.
And
But you got a bigger paycheck and you got to stay in the country.
He's going to look at the lights a lot.
Yeah. Last I checked, your tag team partner's doing a lot more work. He was in one of the highlight matches last night.
Let me be clear. What did I say when initially Ethan went to AEW and Josh stuck around? I was like, man, Josh has proven he's the better part of the North.
And now you kind of have to amend that a little bit.
Well, just because of their singles booking and how it's currently going, which, by the way, they can't keep Ethan Page in NXT, guys. He's too good for that. But I'm guessing they're just waiting on some retirements here.
Yeah.
But Ethan Page is a stud.
Yeah.
And a reliable one at that.
Technically sound, absolutely can work with anyone. I mean, I'm sorry. People were like, what's he doing last night? I'm like working with one of the biggest Mexican stars of the last 2 years.
By the way, to be fair, if we're talking about how Kyle Fletcher has no momentum, WWE, you're playing a dangerous game, not allowing this guy to start winning some matches on your TV.
Mr. Iguana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to let that happen.
Yeah.
Because right now he's a star in two
AAA.
worlds, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But you got to start letting him win some matches.
He's also a lot older than people think.
True. But
Yeah.
you got to let him win some matches.
Yeah. And then finally, we got 2 matches left. Oh, I remember when we talked about this. Jesse, Mercedes versus Chris Statlander was 4.5.
Really?
I don't remember liking the match that much.
It was 3.5.
Yeah. It was okay for what it was.
And, of course, as you alluded to earlier, she has now started to lose some of her titles. She just lost the Ring of Honor one.
What? Welcome to Mercedes Job Fest 2026.
I guess her story is she's going to melt down after she loses the titles. Okay.
Okay.
I did see that she did lose the one.
Leroy, you are way too above that mic.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I can hear you, but you should probably bring it up a little more.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Well, this thing always keeps going down and up.
Welcome
and
to
down.
my world.
Yeah.
I got to get you a headset
Why? Well, that and we also
or upgrade this.
Or I just need to get wireless mics. But as we were talking about here,
We're working on
the story really when it comes to this match in particular. Zach, I'm sorry. I'm gonna finally say it, and we all know how much I love Chris Statlander.
Mm-hmm.
You were wrong to bet on this horse. If you're Tony Khan,
Oh yeah.
this has not worked.
No.
This is not. I love Chris Statlander.
We all do.
She should be the Charlotte Flair of your company.
Yeah.
This has not worked.
But Jesse, why? Because she's had too many start stops. There's been too much
And here's the worst part.
injuries have played a
The
part.
injuries, and then you're waiting for her to come back to do something you want to do.
Yeah.
This is murder.
Yeah. Like you said, Jesse. One thing.
I love Chris Statlander. but you're-
Jesse, what did Randy say? I'd rather just be sitting at home than doing some bullshit.
Bingo.
But unfortunately, Jesse, she's doing bullshit when she's here.
Here's what's killing me when it comes to Chris Statlander. she's gonna get the remember and that's why they're doing the stuff with her and Alexa, and it's worked in WWE. This was fucking brilliant stroke of genius on Triple H's part when it comes to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Because the problem was with Charlotte was always in the title picture and all that.
Yeah.
And, fans get fucking tired of that. Like, of course, you're in the title picture. You're going to fucking win. We got to deal with you. Like,
Yeah.
And so they have her doing something different with Alexa. And it's made her a huge baby face on Lex we have not seen before.
Yep.
You got to do something different with
Her
this.
amazing story from Survivor Series with the young girl.
With the young girl.
Yep.
But you got to do things like that.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do that soon with Chris. Because I sense that crowd is starting to turn on her.
Oh, that crowd doesn't. Jesse, this is the problem with the AEW crowd. They won't admit it when you call them out on it, but in the moment when it's time to step up, much like the election, they don't give a shit.
They just
They
and
just
by the
don't
way,
care.
It's not her. It's booking's fault because I understand why you would want to back this horse.
Yeah.
But you have failed the horse.
Jesse, Becky was not a sexy, and I'm literally using that word literally because we're talking about Vince McMahon booking. Becky was not a sexy pick to go with.
No.
But the booking made her legendary.
To be fair to her, it was some of what she did with the booking.
Yeah.
And some of the things she did.
I'm not taking anything away from the woman who sold it, made it better, took it out
and what
there.
she did on some of the opposite sides of the booking, like, the fact that Nia Jax threw an improper punch.
Yeah.
Made her nose bleed.
Yeah.
And the way she rocked with it made her into a fucking star.
That's the proper way to print out a T-shirt, by the way.
Right. Well, because...
Yeah, there definitely is.
Well, because in that case, clearly... Anyway, I'm not even going to get back to that Britt Baker T-shirt.
No.
Because it's like, I don't know how no one understands how you print that shirt, and the way you framed her in that shirt, it looked like she was an abuse victim. It just looked like that.
And by the way, once again, just because the person in the shirt said everything's okay... Dude, you're not WWE. No one's going to look at that thing and fucking assume it's a wrestling picture. You're not that big. Once again, they didn't understand the bubble they were in.
The Becky shirt
was cartooned.
Not only did it become cartoon, it literally, remember, it said the man. Right? Like, Vince understood what was happening, and then he was like, the man, this is what she wanted to do, so now we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now we understand in the context when you see the punch of, oh, the other wrestler fucked up, but she does look badass.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just... Anyway, to Chris Statlander, again, like, this is... You backed the wrong horse in the way you have done it.
Chris Statlander needs to pull
in
a
a much worse
Flair.
way. In a much worse way. This is a worse failure than anything. And I know you don't like Hangman.
Yeah.
But it's way worse than anything with Hangman.
Oh,
man.
100%. But no, you're 100% right. She needs to drop the belt. She needs to go do some fun tags. Like, she needs a reset in AEW.
Yes.
This crowd does not give a fuck.
Basically, after she won the title, it has felt so. And by the way, once again, you feel for the wrestler. Orange Cassidy did all that character development for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
So did Chris Statlander.
Yep.
From what I've seen and did highlights that a lot of the times when somebody wins the belt in AEW, the fans are like, "Yay!" and we don't give a fuck.
Because the AEW audience just can't wait for the next title change. They're always looking to the next best thing. And that's fine.
Do you want that, or you're going to destroy the box?
You let me be a fat boy over here. You fucking ruined it, and you interrupted Zach. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah.
Want me to throw one at him?
Unfortunately, I'm good. Unfortunately...
Do you want to sit here, or are you going to stay there?
We're going to switch.
You might as well... Yeah. Unfortunately, folks, it's the literal definition of it's fine to look forward to the next great musician, but that's the record company's job to sort of look forward. Your job is to continue to support the band that's out there.
Right.
Your job is to make sure that, unfortunately, Jesse, whether people like it or not, there has to be more Lady Gagas. There has to be more weekends, all the like. There has to be more artists that real artists look at and say, "Well, you're kind of canned."
Right.
That has to happen.
Right.
To a point. But let the record label worry about what happens next. Let Triple H worry about what happens next. To quote John Cena,
right.
They'll forget about me by the Royal Rumble.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
But the point is that, Jesse, let the office figure out what comes next. Support what's in front of you, because when you're just waiting for the next big thing, you miss out on a lot of really cool shit. Because the truth is, Jesse, right now, one of the biggest trends in all of metal is, how the fuck does this band only have 500 listeners a month? Because unfortunately, they came out, maybe got some airplay time, but the majority of people went on to the next fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
TikTok doesn't deserve blame for the way that we are in our attention spans.
Right.
They just took advantage of it. But even they turned around and did what YouTube, because by the way, like right now YouTube, Smosh just turned 20. So
correct.
So looking at the history of Smosh and is like looking at the history of YouTube. How long a video used to be. Nowadays, longer form videos are a big thing.
Yep.
Once in a while, shorts became a thing. And by the way, for all the people out there who are getting cringy about old Smosh videos, I want to be very clear. Early 2000s, our internet humor was really fucked up. They're not to blame for the stuff we found funny.
Wait.
That's just the way the world was.
Humor before the internet was really messed up, can people say now, but it was actually good.
But what I'm saying is that, Leroy, there's no
They
record.
can't take a joke
Leroy,
now.
time out. But there's no record of that humor.
No,
there's not
unfortunately.
videos of that humor. Smosh did a lot of things because, like, legitimately,
We had stone tablets.
legitimately,
That didn't work
Smosh had a video of like, because they just went over a bunch of old videos with some of the newer cast, and one of the videos was basically, "Where on my body are you touching?"
Oh yeah. yeah.
And it's like people are in the comments like, "How could you do this?" I'm like, back then, that was content. That's just how everything goes.
Listen, it was funny.
Yeah. But Jesse, now back to my point. TikTok doesn't deserve the blame for it. They just monetized it. But unfortunately, Jesse, the AEW audience is the audience that was yelling at Vince and the teens for, we need Ricochet, Cesaro, and Aleister Black to all have a title in the next month. And it's like that's like, you can't do that.
But he does it, and that's why no one watches.
Yeah.
Like it's you murder momentum.
Yeah.
And you like, if you want your company to stay strong, you cannot do that. Like I tell people all the time with WWE right now, where it hurts them is sometimes he tries to extend the momentum. So of course we got that big thing on SmackDown with the MFTs and the Wyatts, which super viral, everyone loves it.
Yeah.
But everyone, of course, was pissed because they're like, you should have did this for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It probably would have been the only fucking match that deserved War Games because people didn't like the War Game matches.
Right, exactly.
Mostly the men's one. They didn't like the men's one.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that. But it's but like I tell people when it comes to WWE, the problem isn't that there's no momentum.
Yeah.
It's that we take too long to get to something sometimes.
Yes.
Because maybe somebody's hurt, and so Triple H is trying to prolong a story. I respect what he's trying to do, but I think there's better ways to go about it.
Which, by the way, Jesse, is the literal, what I'm now calling the Chris Statlander syndrome.
Because it's, well, in her case, so, like, why did you lose Jay Cargill? Because you put her in nothing for almost a year. And the only reason the Nyla Rose thing even sticks out to people's minds is because of Nyla Rose.
Right.
And so, you have...
Does anybody remember that Jade had baddie section?
I kind of do.
I remember that.
Because I think that was like the first time we had seen, most people had seen Red Velvet on Dynamite and not on the YouTube shows, which I do miss for them because that's where they used to do the character development.
Yeah.
God damn, you're only talking to this for a second. There's already hair on it.
Well, look at that face.
God damn, you and that beard. I'm like, there's just plenty of hair. What the fuck?
I haven't touched that. That's all your hair.
That's not
Or
my
that's
hair.
cat hair.
It could be cat hair. That's fair.
It's probably cat hair.
That goes fucking everywhere.
Well, fuck them and fuck you. So as I was saying, I love you. As I was saying though, it's
Don't tell me to fuck a pussy, but it's not gonna be that pussy.
It's one of those things where like you can't keep killing momentum of somebody else for someone who's hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Actually, what it's a reminder of before I let you go, because he's trying to be more compassionate, but in a way, it's really only the other side of what the Brock Lesnar booking was.
Yeah.
Where it was, he took that title home for 7 months, and so guess what? The Intercontinental Championship had all the importance in the world on Raw. But you're like, no, it doesn't. You literally have a heavyweight championship, but the guy's never fucking there. Yep. And so it kills momentum. Go ahead.
And it was. I mean, for momentum, and you look at somebody that was injured, and they wanted to do the CM Punk and McIntyre stuff last year. Yeah, this was last year. And they kept that momentum with somebody that was injured and somebody was not.
Right.
That's the way you can do it without killing it. That's where you can extend the story, and people are like, they're still intrigued.
Well, because the problem is just when you stop momentum that constantly, you don't allow people, because remember, so he keeps forgetting it's a TV show. You don't allow people to really sink their teeth into whatever story you're trying to tell.
Well, I think they start to, and then Tony goes, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to do that right now. This is in my little book. This is what we're going to do. And then 3 months down the line, we're going to bring it back.
But then at that point, it doesn't feel important.
Yeah.
By the way, Vince used to be very guilty of that. That's why sometimes he'll do this kind of shit, and I'm like, well, this was a very McMahon way of booking this, because but in Vince's case, it was, oh, this doesn't matter, and all of a sudden he brings it back. He's like, now it matters, and you're like, no, Vince, it doesn't, because you took it off of TV for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, it was the way Triple H had been doing too with the White too. Is that the glimpses of somebody from the White Six behind the MFTs.
It's the prolonging.
It's like, wait a minute, why is he back there?
And like I tell people about the Triple H booking, it's because, by the way, there's WWE fans talking about firing Triple H. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
And put who in charge?
Right.
I know.
You got a successor in mind?
Because
I promise you ain't building this roster the way
and Shawn Michaels has already said he would rather help the kids because that's just who he is.
Well, because at the end of the day, Triple H was always the quote-unquote better mind for the business, and Shawn was the talent.
But they don't have anyone on that backstage I would trust to book. I take that back.
Heyman.
If it was William Regal, I'd be like, let's see.
Regal and Heyman right now.
But
Heyman's on. Heyman's in front of the camera.
But Heyman has already said that.
But Regal's happy just doing.
Right, and Heyman is he's a producer on the main roster.
Right. Yeah.
But and Heyman has already said that, like, I'm okay doing my stories and helping guys as they come into whatever I'm doing.
But as we move forward, because we have one more match. Unfortunately,
I'm glad you guys took care of this before I showed up.
Oh, we just started AEW, so you're gonna have to sit there and not fall asleep for once, there, Mr. Mango.
That is kind of funny.
Oh, sorry.
But that
is funny.
I honestly think this rating is because Dave said, and I quote in his review, the shortest pay-per-view main event in company history. Around 14 minutes. Adam Page versus Samoa Joe for the world title. 3.5 stars.
Wow.
And unfortunately, when you told Jim Cornette, and this is why he's coming up, Jesse, when you told Jim Cornette how long it was, he goes, some of the greatest 5-star matches were 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Bell to not even bell to bell, entrance to fucking bell.
Yeah.
Like, Jesse, apparently you can't get 4 stars in AEW's Dave's world unless you go 20 fucking minutes. And I'm sitting here like, I watched, and I'm not going to give away any names in matches because obviously we want you all to watch DPW 8 when it comes out on YouTube very soon. But Jesse, I watched a couple of people have some matches live, and I said to myself, what the fuck was that? Like 8 minutes to fucking bell to bell? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? And they had the crowd in the palm of their hands.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
you don't need 20 minutes.
Unfortunately, what AEW teaches people is you can't have a quality match unless it goes 20 minutes.
Which is not true, by
Which
the
is
way.
hilarious because, Jesse, Shawn Michaels made a living out of like 10-minute spots unless it was a big fucking 4 pay-per-view.
Or is
Gunther
it,
makes a living out of 12-minute matches.
okay, is it
Yeah?
Tony doing that, or is it the wrestlers wanting to get so much stuff into their match?
It's
that has
that
a
is
problem
that is something that I will say is 100% 50-50 because unfortunately you have a bunch of people who never learned how to put everything in a 10-minute window, and you have a guy who loves these 20-minute bangers when it's like, Tony, New Japan, I bet you if I pulled up some of the times of their matches, the only guys who went 30 minutes are guys that people paid to fucking see.
The main eventers.
The heavyweights.
If I had a 20-minute banger, I might die.
What's the average Super Junior match between just two dudes having a feud?
Let me be clear. Unless it's the main eventers,
Yeah.
you go like 10 minutes in New Japan,
And
you
by
get
the way, Jesse,
fuck out.
No, Jesse,
Yeah.
hold on. A little bit backstage speak here. That's not 10 minutes bell to bell. That's 10 minutes from the minute the entrances start to the bell.
Right.
That's not 10 minutes of ring time. That's you got 10 minutes from when you get into the ring and the referee rings the bell to when the referee counts the 3. That's a 10-minute slot.
By the way, you know who else made a legendary career off of only being given 10 minutes in matches? Trish Stratus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tori Wilson.
Yeah.
They made Hall of Fame careers off of only being given 10 minutes. So you don't actually have to have a 20-minute banger to be remembered. And by the way, the reason... So you asked me about the Super Juniors. So a Takamori or back in the day, a Finn Balor, the guys like that would get half an hour.
Yeah.
The well-established guys, they would get their half an hour. Otherwise, yeah. You got 10 minutes to do some technical, speedy shit. Make it great. Tell the story we need you to tell. You go over, it better have been good. So, because New Japan has been known to, matches were announced and the matches just disappeared. So,
And sometimes the main eventers just wanted a little more time, and everyone was like, okay, sure.
like I remember seeing like a match booked for a month, and then you get to the pay-per-view, or well, their version of a PLE for New Japan. You're like, wait, where the fuck is this match? Like, well, they pissed Gato and Jado off because that shit got snatched. So,
And you think Gato and Jado gave a goddamn if you texted them about it?
and by the way, Okada would tell you it could be me. Let me be told I was given an hour, and I went an hour and a half, and it wasn't great.
Oh, if that last half hour looked like what he's been doing in AEW, Gato and Jado would have said,
2 weeks, you lose that championship.
yeah,
Because apparently you don't give a fuck, Okada, so we don't give a fuck.
yeah.
Go home. Like, they're way stricter than Vince ever was. So, yeah, but because Inoki was.
Yeah.
So, God rest his soul. So, like, it's about discipline. This was a great match. I gave this one a 4. You want to know why I gave it a 4? 15 minutes. It told a great story, and you got a return. I thought it was great.
Yeah. But in
I'm sorry. I guess because it was too WWE, they didn't like it.
oh, you should see the ratings he gave War Games.
Listen, to be fair to him, and I'm sure we'll get to War Games, and I do agree when it comes to the men's match. A lot of people hated the men's match. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't a great match. It was a bad match.
He gave it 4 1/4.
For the men's War Game?
Yeah.
Really?
If I remember correctly, the women got 2.5.
Really?
Wow.
'Cause
He
the men-
doesn't like women, or what the fuck is wrong with him?
Well, he hasn't gotten
Well,
laid in
wait.
20 years.
Well, Leroy.
Peace.
Well,
I thought Tony
well-
was some bitches.
Well, Leroy, these women don't feed him as much information all the time, or as Britt Baker famously once said, don't go out of their way looking for his fucking approval.
Right.
It was seriously one of the dumbest things I think I ever heard backstage. The fact they didn't edit that out is a fucking miracle.
It's kind of crazy. If you're saying he actually gave that match a 4 star?
Let me get the...
Because he gave that men's a 4 star. That's insane. I mean, like I told people, I thought it was good, but it was also bad in a way. I know a lot of people hated it.
The men's War Games was 4.25 stars.
Wow.
The women got 2.75.
Wow.
The Intercontinental title match got 3.2.
That was
John Cena versus Dominic.
really.
That was a good match.
That was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, but Jesse,
The surprise return.
Yeah,
made
but
it
Jesse,
fun
there
even
was
more.
no blood, there was no guts, there were no thumbtacks, there was no Mercedes Moan fucking sitting in the corner for fucking 20 minutes.
By the way, he was already a star. That's why I don't think he's going to hold this title this time for long. I think Triple H is going to pull the trigger on Dominic
You
next
even want
year.
to know what he gave Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella?
Probably nothing good. He's never liked the Bellas, though.
1.25.
Yeah, he's never liked the Bellas.
It was a good match. A lot of people. Well, we'll talk about that when.
Well,
we
anyway,
get into it,
anyway, before we get to that, Jesse, you wanted to talk about this.
I'll be fair to him. He didn't like the Bellas. I don't blame him.
Hey, Jesse, corruption and negligence
Okay,
are
here we go.
running unchecked.
Here we go. Sarah Stock.
There is so much more than this. Receipts are coming. Anyone doesn't want to listen, stop listening. I don't care. In the meantime, talent and company safety continues to be put at risk. I'm sorry, I watched the matches. I don't need to fucking be told that.
That to me was the funniest line. Was it's put at risk, and then like so AEW fans tried to jump down her throats, and the others were like, "You guys are idiots. You watched the match. That's just facts."
I hope my Mexican fans and friends understand the inhumane treatment towards Mexican wrestlers in AEW.
Ooh, the sickos didn't like that.
That I witnessed during my 2 years working there. I don't know.
Pause for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
She said that, and the sickos were like, "Well, yeah, because in WWE they get treated so much better. They're all fucking losers in WWE.
They're about to get put on American television.
But me and other guys were like, so Penta's a loser in WWE. The guy's inching closer and closer to the main event, but he's a loser.
Penta's a loser.
His brother,
Rey Mysterio's a loser.
who's treated like wrestling royalty in WWE, yes, has lost some matches, but they've always protected
He
him.
wasn't supposed to beat Talatonga.
But-
Look at the size
But
difference.
regardless, he was
Yes.
still protected in the losses.
Well, yeah.
And
Because
so-
even though in real life the short skinny guy would get his ass kicked by the big dude, they still beat the fuck out of him.
Also, so Dragon Lee, who's clearly being pushed as the next fucking Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah.
That guy is a loser.
Had the biggest viral moment of the fucking week with AJ Styles.
Dominic Mysterio is a loser?
By the way, before we go on,
Two belt down.
did you hear that AJ Styles was told to go thank the Young Bucks for that spot?
What? Really?
By the way, he had some interesting shit to say because somebody said something about stealing moves during, because of that great fucking match with New Day on Raw. I'm like, the fact we got this on fucking free TV is crazy. Well, it's not free, but still.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I think it was a nice way of going like, yeah, everyone steals from everyone.
Yeah.
And a lot of your favorites are stolen from me.
Yeah.
So
he's been around longer.
you
than
can
they-
post
AJ
this.
Styles is going to retire with half the credit he should have gotten for what he did in this business.
To be fair, like,
The Motor City Machine, Alex Shelley will never get credit for what he did
I think
because you can't make up for the credit he hasn't gotten.
I think what WWE needs to do for like the
That's
YouTube
true.
is allow Sean and AJ to sit together and talk about wrestling.
Oh God!
And so they could just play. So who's had more shit stolen from them, you or me?
Wow.
That's how great AJ is.
Yeah,
Because he can literally just go, probably me.
yeah.
That would be a fun
AJ
conversation.
Styles came up with the spinal tap because they told him in WCW you can't do the shooting star press because Kidman does
'Cause
it.
Kidman did it.
So he said, and I quote, "Okay, I'm going to do something that Kidman can't do."
And
That's true.
Boy, it sucked he had the neck injury because Billy Kidman was an innovator in his own right.
Oh, absolutely.
But this was the one, and somebody did challenge him on his podcast. How in the fuck did you guys never push AJ Styles? You thought Billy Kidman was better than AJ Styles? And the guy said, I love Billy. Showed a picture of him with Billy. He was like, Eric, I love you. That was the dumbest shit ever.
Meanwhile, he goes to New Japan, and they're like, you've done nothing here. Oh, well, you're still AJ fucking Styles.
Dude, what New Japan did was just like, we know you're a dog and a top star. Just be that.
Anyway,
Yes.
Back to Sarah. I don't know if things have changed, but this lack of respect has to be called out, especially when Mexico has welcomed them with open arms.
That is so true.
You're
yes.
a young female wrestler arriving at an enormous airport in a foreign country. You reach out for direction. You're told you don't get any. There's no one coming to pick you up. Figure it out. Navigate the foreign country, language, transportation. Find your way into the backstage area of a major event. Wonder if AEW women are trying to figure out when they land in Mexico.
God, did that sound like CM Punk there? In England?
I'm just saying, Phil's words are prophetic.
Yeah.
Here's how Kosher Bee and AEW took care of Mexican talent to save money on flights home, by the way. Dynamite and Collision. They'd fly in Mexican talent on Tuesday, keep them in the country until Sunday. No per diem, no food allowance, only 1 day a week at home with their family. I was furious when I found out. I addressed the insanity and immorality of that with Kosha, but then I'd have to do it for everyone.
Wow. So right now, it's not good to be either black.
I'm going to need Jesse to come back to the
AEW.
mic for this next one because this is the one that will make Jesse lose his fucking mind.
Well,
But, let's talk about that. So, basically, you fly them in on a Tuesday, which is always cheaper by American Airlines.
yes.
But then they kept you until the following Sunday and said, foreign country, figure it out. We're not going to pay for your meals. Figure it out.
That's completely horseshit.
Leroy, fill in for me for a second.
And I don't understand how somebody can do that to people. And they say he's the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, it's really
whatever.
simple. No.
Is it him doing it or somebody else doing it?
Leroy, well, first of all, it's always Tony because he's the one writing the check. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, if you write the check, you're in charge of everything.
So
Jesse
blame him for
Jesse
everything
Stowe
then.
has told so many of his friends in the past who have their own shit going on. They're like, yeah, this guy's doing this and that. Just like, aren't you writing the check? Well, yeah. Then why the fuck you letting them do it?
Bingo.
You're writing the check. You literally have the right to tell this person to do whatever the fuck you want because you're the one paying them.
So I'm guessing most likely that Tony is a blind eye to all this shit.
No. Tony
Or do you
Khan.
think he knows?
I think that Tony Khan ultimately is a penny pinching billionaire just like his father,
Yeah.
but it doesn't come out because of how much he pays the wrestlers. Because at the end of the day, Leroy, I hate to be that guy to all the sickos. Billionaires don't become billionaires by blowing the amount of money that you think that they do. They spend other people's money. That's why Vince signed with the Saudis.
Unless they're high on crack or cocaine and want to do that all the time.
Well, he's
Then
still doing
right.
that.
So let's break it down.
Yeah. Do you want me to move on to the next part, or do you want me to just stick
That
with
is-
this Mexican thing for a
That
second?
is horseshit.
Very quick breakdown.
Okay, yeah.
So talent isn't helped with travel. Man, I could swear we heard from a white guy, really popular,
Yeah.
Went to England, by the way.
and had to find his way, and was just dumbfounded at the fact that his travel wasn't already set for him.
He was also at the time the biggest guy you had in the fucking company.
Because, by the way, in every other promotion, even if you have to drive to the promotion yourself,
They'll get you the hotel room. They'll
they
put
will
you up.
get you your other shit
Yeah.
and make sure you get. Well, some will make sure you get fed. We've heard this in the Indies how some don't, and it's ridiculous. And I'm glad we work for companies that would never do that, who make sure they feed their talent and all that shit.
Oh, you're coming to work the next 3 hours for me. The least I can do is get you a fucking pizza.
Like, bro, I'm gonna get some food in your fucking belly.
Yeah.
Like,
You're not going to do this on an empty stomach in the protein bar you bought.
you
at the Quick
drove
Trip.
through a snowstorm for me? Hey, we're going to get you fed, and if you guys don't want to drive home, we got you covered. Like, at the fucking minimum, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Wasn't Will Ospreay's whole thing that started between him and Triple H the fact that, like, you know, I get to go directly home after I'm doing my taping so I can spend time with my stepkid.
Oh, she's getting to that part.
right?
If you would like, she's getting to
Oh,
that
sorry.
part.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
I thought you were
yeah.
there. Go ahead.
No. She's getting there. First and foremost, there is no HR department at AEW. There's a clueless puppet named Karen from not HR who refuses to put anything in writing and spits out PC corporate lines like a bot. Only
Is it her real name or her subtitle?
Only Manzanoni has
No
a
question.
use for her. He uses her as a shield to hide, just like Not Man would. In fact, I'm still waiting for my notice, Karen. As far as I know, I'm still employed. Paychecks have been late. When do benefits end? So Tony Khan put someone in charge with no experience whatsoever, and clearly
I'm not.
doesn't give a shit. Dude, HR,
I'm not shocked.
bro, HR people got to deal with a lot of shit because unfortunately they're HR. But never be afraid to call them because when they're good, they love their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Never be afraid to call HR about anything.
This puts me in that Tony Khan is like a 12-year-old boy in his mom's basement with
Oh,
all
I'm not
action
done.
figures.
Oh, I'm not, bro.
And that's all he's
bro,
doing.
Bro. Sarah went on a long rant. We ain't done, brother. We ain't done.
Where did she put this?
This is on
On
Twitter.
Twitter.
This is
On
on Twitter.
Twitter.
Good
Oh, wow.
HR.
2 days ago.
Good HR is supposed to be
An advocate for the
a bridge
employee.
between the company that you all work for
Yeah.
and to help you.
Yeah.
Because they also are supposed to be able to report to outside people if the people above them aren't fucking doing what they're supposed to
Where
do.
I work, my HR was great because they told the ex-wife, "You don't work for his company. Shut the fuck up. Don't call us back
But
again."
the thing is about good HR.
But they just said it nicely.
The good thing about good HR is that if you're like, hey, I haven't heard anything about my travel, I haven't gotten paid, they're supposed to go. They're supposed to be able to figure out what's going on, let you know immediately, and let you know what the solution is.
Yeah.
The solutions are. So she still kind of gets health benefits, and some checks are late. Yeah, I would think I'm still employed.
And Karen's not getting back to her.
In the middle of this, by the way, she posted this and then went on the rest of the rant. But this was in the middle, so she kept going and still nothing. Why won't Tony Khan or AEW, by the way, Leroy, she tagged them in every one of these messages. They're tagged. They're not just out there for the world to witness and someone quote tweets them. They're tagged because they're tagged. Why won't Tony Khan or AEW address or clarify any of the things I'm speaking about? We're waiting for you to chime in, TK. I welcome you to deny anything I've said. He said nothing, by the way, since this happened. His Twitter has been awfully quiet. How about the
All
first?
true.
How about the first time Roosh returns after injury? No direction all day. They throw him out there with about 20 minutes notice on Dynamite.
Wow.
Tell him to just cut a promo in English. Every promo gets a writer. Every match gets a producer. Every person whose first language isn't English deserves a chance to rehearse. No writer, no coach. As the finish is going down, I get a text, "Hey, could you produce the Roosh match?" The Roosh match. As the finish is happening. Okay. Yeah, Dragon Lee made the wrong decision to go to the company with a fucking HR department. Yeah, let's get that on Twitter one more time, you dingbats.
I think the Lucha Brothers made a good decision.
Yeah, almost done, by the way. This is the last set of tweets. Example of AEW HR investigation.
Oh, boy.
An incident went down between a member of staff and talent backstage. I witnessed it all. I was among the first on the scene. I stayed with the staff member while somebody else directed the talent away to defuse the situation. Normal shit happens,
Sure.
happens at every job. Throughout the entire investigation, that's in air quotes, by the way, I was never once talked to. If manager of talent relations, me, was there for it all, why was I not consulted?
That's interesting.
Who knows? Investigation has been closed.
Wow.
Edge gets picked up from the airport every time. She made
Hold
sure
on,
to
pause really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So she's supposed to be one of the managers of talent relations.
According to her exact point, she is manager of talent
By
relations.
the way, because AEW's stupid and doesn't delete anything, so I bet you could find that on the internet that she was.
They're like Catholics. They don't really get rid of anything. They just bury it.
Are you Baptist or are you Catholic?
I was baptized Lutheran, and I'm an active member of the Methodist Church.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
So we're a lot better. We don't bury anything, and all our priests and our ministers and pastors.
Because unfortunately, here where we live, some terrible stuff also happened within the Catholic Church.
Multiple times.
Ours are allowed to marry either same sex or opposite sex because we're okay with all that and be happy.
But she says she's
And
the
I don't have to do
manager.
anything.
She's the manager of talent relations.
Yes.
She witnessed this incident.
Between a member of staff and talent,
Because, by the way, a member of staff means is somebody who doesn't wrestle.
it's an employee.
And the case was closed without her being spoken to.
Not once.
Even Vince never did that. Seriously, all the stories we hear about how Vince dealt with issues, like once it got back to him, yeah, everyone caught hell.
Yeah.
But he's the owner.
Yeah.
So yeah, once it gets back to him, yeah, he's like he fucking went off, because it's his company.
Yeah.
But at least it got dealt with. Basically, she never heard anything, and she just heard like, "Oh, the investigation's been closed." So what happened to everybody then? Nothing. So nothing got solved.
Edge gets picked up from the airport
crazy.
every time. Orange Cassidy gets picked up from the airport every time, as do innumerable other talent, able-bodied males. Not The Cure, though.
Oh.
Not, is it Zeus was her name?
Yeah, something like that.
Not Catalina. Not any other former females coming to AEW for the first time. You think, Jesse, quick question. Do you think when Stephanie Valkyrie got off a plane in Orlando, Florida, WWE didn't have a big-ass sign saying Valkyrie?
She talked about it. They flew her. They picked her up.
They also paid for the flight, I believe, America.
They showed her quarters
Yeah.
that they're
Yeah.
paying for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they showed her the gym. And then they took her back to her quarters.
Because, see, Jesse, what do you do since right now we're in the midst of a huge point in the college football calendar? What do you do when a recruit brings the family to town?
You pay for the family to come through. You take care of everything.
You got a nice meal waiting for them
That's
in the
right.
cafeteria.
They get fed.
You show them the campus.
Give them 5-star treatment.
You get, especially if they're a 5-star recruit.
That's right.
You especially give Mama the 5-star treatment there, of course.
So Stephanie,
Do you have any idea how hard
Hold on.
it is to be a college football coach when you have to go into houses? And Jesse, who's the number one person you got to make happy in a college football house?
well, Mama.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yes.
here's the thing. So
Mama ain't happy. Ain't
This-
gonna happen.
as Mercedes said, she gave her the greatest match of her career, which is, by the way, not even fucking true.
Yeah.
But if I ever interviewed,
You got a seat charger on
yeah, it's over here though.
here? Well, can I plug it in over here somewhere?
No, it's plugged
There's a
into
plug.
the thing though.
Can you,
No, it's plugged into the thing.
oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's not
I'll
plugged
give it to you in a
into
second.
wall.
All right.
I'll give it to you in a
So
second.
here's the thing. So she supposedly gave Stephanie Fakir her best match ever.
Yeah.
And then on top of that,
They ask you to go party with
they asked you to go party, but no one came to get you before the match.
You had to find. Okay.
You had to find your way home. You had to find your.
You had to find your way to the arena.
This is $1 billion company.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They have the money to take care of their
But
talent.
Jesse, you know what this is consistent with?
That's crazy, dude.
You know what this is consistent with?
A soccer team?
No. My wife, when I'm an NFL star, is fucking breastfeeding in a public restroom. I'm sorry, I'm on the fucking field.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's the way Daddy does business.
Mm-hmm.
You're kidding me.
Here's,
Did that happen?
Leroy.
He's
I
cleaning
Leroy.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Leroy,
he's cleaning it up now.
Leroy, every single year that the NFL has put out their report cards, it's been like 3 years now, the Vikings are top tier. Players are like, my family is just, they're number one on game day.
The
'Cause
Jaguars
Wilfs-
and the Jets get D's and F's.
because the fucking Wilfs pay someone to be in charge of that family until the fucking horn sounds. And even then, they get him home.
If a woman is, I'm trying.
You want to know how every Minnesota Vikings YouTube clip starts when the families are involved? They're getting picked up in a specialized van for all the kids and the wife. They're ushered in the back fucking door where they are protected. There's a security detail. And by the way, yes, they're in the stands with the fans. That's a separate section that is reserved for people.
Yeah.
That is a certain thing. And if there's kids, the Wilfs are like, oh yeah, we'll spare no expense because it doesn't cost that fucking much for how much money we make as an NFL team. Meanwhile, the Jacksonville Jaguar players
Their stadium
are
is paid for, so yeah.
the fucking Jacksonville Jaguar players are having their wives breastfeeding in a public restroom amongst the common folk, which I'm sorry, America. You want to be treated equal for a second? You ain't getting paid $20 million to be in that fucking
But
stadium.
here's the thing. You don't have to say common folk. Any job for a man, if they hear like, we're doing a family event, bring your family, and your wife has a child, and you're like, hey, she needs to breastfeed, and they just go, oh yeah, you just do it over there.
Fucking Walmart has a fucking giant thing back by the restrooms you can sit in and have privacy over.
Well, I place I used to work in Duluth, they had a room for that, and they did not have any moms that needed that. Well, then all of a sudden there was a few women that needed that room for that. What did they do? They cleaned out that room and made it accessible.
Hold
for all the
on.
women.
Before we continue, stare ahead one more thing, and it kind of relates. So let me just say it.
Wow.
Holding them in the U.S. also took away from working opportunities in Mexico.
Correct.
On those days. So, Leroy, they couldn't work in Mexico from Tuesday to Sunday. How
They'd
many
have to-
days left in the week, boys?
One.
So they couldn't,
Hold on.
and they didn't have any
Hold on.
books.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on.
To what?
American AEW talent gets the chance to work Thursdays or Fridays. Meanwhile, the Mexican talent was paying, that's in capitals, by the way, to hang around with no reimbursement. My wife just got reimbursed for taking our dog to a fucking vet visit. Because that's what I pay for.
Right.
Wow.
So, Tony, how much money are we going to start paying the Mexican talent to make this go away?
He's going to have to spend a lot.
Someday they're going to write a book because someday the checks will stop coming. And you know, Jesse, you know who it's going to be? It's going to be an underneath talent where the check stops and they're going to realize I need to be the first one on the scene to say what actually happened. And they're going to get with someone. They're going to write a book. And you're going to be like, who was this person while they were there? I'm like, who cares? They're the one writing the book.
Nick Khan can't even fucking imagine. Guy used to be an agent. Forget. He'd be like, I can't even fucking imagine
My client showing up to something like this.
my talent
Yeah.
being treated like that. I would remember. To be fair, Triple H can't imagine. Remember, we got the story from Mickey James. Triple H made sure motherfuckers were fired.
Yep.
And that's when I was like, that dude's going to be a great boss.
Stephanie was involved
So-
in that too.
Yes, because they're like, I can't fucking imagine you disrespecting my talent. And then
Yes, she's been fired. Or not fired, but released. We got her a trash bag.
man, disrespect the legend by putting the shit in her trash and then trying to lie about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 corporate people and 2 people from the Get the fuck out. You're fired. And Mickey was like, I didn't need to fire you. And he was just like, I could never imagine any of you being treated like that. That's fucking crazy.
So how long has...
Because they make too much money.
Yeah, no. You make too much money.
And you get it back on write-offs.
So AEW, they're
crazy.
mostly working with CML.
Yep.
Okay, and they've been working with them how long?
That partnership's going on about 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So
About the length of time that Sarah has been with. Although Sarah's still employed, according to her. So,
Oh, yeah. So
You're still getting checks and still getting health care, I guess so.
for the well, hey, that's good to have health care now because we're not going to get that. But the last 3 years, he's been doing this to every Mexican talent.
according to Sarah, yes.
She's the only one that has said it until somebody else comes out and says something.
Well, no, Leroy, you have to understand something.
This is a pattern.
She's been told she no longer works there, but they're so dumb in HR, they're still paying her.
Yeah.
So technically, the
Reminds
problem.
me of the, what was that movie? Get my stapler. What the fuck is that movie?
Office Space?
Yes!
Office Space, yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
And he finally, he was like, oh no, we just, it's like the opposite of them going like to the Steven, what's the name character of, oh no, we just, we let him go, but HR just had a little glitch. So he's not getting paid.
He just shows up all the time.
Where's my stapler? You're not going to move me again. By the way, if you've never seen Office Space, go see it.
Classic.
Classic movie. This is the opposite. So
By the way, Leroy, did you hear that Blazing Saddles got cut for 2025 television? It started at 8:01 and ended at 8:09.
Yeah.
To not offend people.
Because
Oh,
people
wow,
kind
that's
of...
stupid.
People kind of...
No,
I love that fucking movie.
No,
Clearly
Jesse-
it's a joke. But
Yeah, but basically they're saying Blazing Saddles only has about 8 minutes that wouldn't offend 2025 people.
I can watch that movie today. It's a classic.
Oh, Blazing Saddles is a fucking classic, folks.
My son
I
has...
told Allison, fair warning, when you watch it, you're going to have to put yourself in that
but
time
what
frame.
the Sarah Stock thing? So
My
let me get
son
back.
my son is 13. He has watched it with me, the edited version, so he didn't hear all the words, but he saw most of it, and he thought it was fucking hilarious.
Well, let me get back to Sarah here.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
What it shows is a pattern of behavior.
Yeah.
Because CM Punk basically talked about this. What he said was...
He didn't go into that much detail, but
To quote
a lot
his
of the
wife,
stuff that he said,
to
yes.
quote his wife from the Stephanie interview, first one through the wall gets pretty fucking cut up and gets bullet holes.
They get bloody.
But the next one's got a little more room to speak.
Because he said, I shot up to London, and he's like, no, listen, yeah. He's like, when I'm at home, I take the train everywhere. No one's expecting, no one's waiting for me.
yeah.
But he's like, I'm used to that because that's
But
where
not
I
only
live.
that, Jesse, what he alluded to was, fine, whatever adventure, I figured it out. But no one said anything when I got there?
Right.
No one fucking acknowledged it? No one said sorry about that?
And remember, the Bucks and Tony Khan have tried to write off his comments. Well, I mean, we've always had to pay for our own stuff. Yeah, but he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
He should be taking care of you as talent.
Yes.
I kind of see where, in a real business perspective, not in a wrestling perspective, where because CJ Perry just talked about it, I kind of get where from a business perspective you make talent buy tickets because there is like a revenue aspect to it. But when you make as much money as TK does, you could probably take care of them.
So to give for the sickos, we always give you something back. I'm waiting for Roman Reigns to correct that because I'm sure he will. Mm-hmm. Don't you fucking make me pay for a goddamn thing if I want to bring my family. Do you know how much money I just gave you? You will pay for every motherfucking ticket. I bet you Mark Shapiro and them say, okay.
There'll be a lot of them.
Okay, sorry about that.
Mark Shapiro, let me be very clear. In real life, in a back room, in a business meeting, when Roman Reigns speaks, Mark Shapiro's in the corner with his mouth taped shut.
Yes, sir, Mr. Tribal Chief. So he doesn't even realize he's not even a character. Yes, sir, Mr. Tribal Chief. Because he don't want to get his ass whooped. So,
That is so true.
that's why, when that thing came out.
You
about
watch Roman Reigns get told, yeah, we don't know how valuable you are right
Now,
now.
here's the thing about that story where she talked about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, by the way, other wrestlers have confirmed this. It just depends. So, I think
I think Miro wanted to bring the whole family out.
correct. And it's the whole joke of for most promoters, you got 2 to 4 people you can bring for free.
Yeah.
After that, you fucking pay for the rest
Yeah,
of
no
them
shit.
because you're killing me all my money here.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you can bring 3 people. So like, because Bianca usually has her parents there because they're proud to watch her.
Yeah.
Her dad's been in the front row a few times.
Cody Rhodes has been known to have
His mother and Brandy.
and Brandy there.
Yeah.
Now they don't. One of the rules is they're not supposed to be on the non-hard cam side.
Yeah.
But I was just like, Cody could probably fucking like tell him like, do you think Brandy's not going to react to a match? Like she can separate herself from the fact that she's going to see me in a few hours and I'm going to be okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like she understands the business.
Well, sometimes it's good to have them on that side,
But
so
that was,
people see the
that
reaction.
was the rule that they kept from Vince McMahon, which I understand when he did it and why he did it, because some of the families didn't know how to just sell the fact that their wrestler is getting hurt.
And that is kind of the problem.
Which was kind of the problem. But it's just one of those things of like, okay, so the ticket thing is one thing. You can only bring 3 people with TKO. But for the most part, I think for most of them, bringing like your significant other and a parent should be the only people.
But
you
now
want
let's
there
talk
anyway.
about the part that, to me, I agree is somewhat inhumane. You are forcing them to stay in a foreign country for 6 days, and you're not giving them a budget to eat? They got to figure that shit out
And
themselves.
by the way, for Mexican wrestlers in AEW. So, WWE buying AAA, allowing it to still operate out of Mexico in all the southern and western U.S. states they were already operating out of. By the way,
by the way, Jesse, how exactly has the business of AAA suffered since WWE?
they've actually only grown.
That's yeah.
So, and if you want to go work it, great. We're going to find a store you can go work their events.
So here's a question, Jesse. I'll ask you: Is it?
And by the way, you're still getting paid by WWE because they own it all.
Yeah.
So like,
The paycheck doesn't change.
yeah.
Is it worse to be Mexican or black in AEW?
Ooh, this is a good question. Great.
Thank you. I need
After-
to know this answer.
After hearing Sarah, it still works to be black.
Okay.
Because unfortunately,
At least they get paid.
Wait a minute.
Because unfortunately, Leroy,
Is
when
that-
you're,
is that-
Leroy,
Yes?
hold on. Unfortunately, when you're black in AEW, your booking suffers, which means your career means you get paid less in other places.
Wait. I thought that was only effective 11 months out of the year. 1 month is okay.
It's still not funny.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Golly, man. It's still black wrestlers have it worse. Think about it. Seriously, think about it, right?
It
Think about
seems
it.
like it's not too far off.
Think about it. Because the Mexican wrestlers know when they can go back to work in Mexico, they're already really well known. They probably make more money there. And so, like, of course they would want to go back and go work those events.
But see, I think the bad part is what she says is if they're booked for a
And by the way, quick update on Andrade.
yes.
It was said that him and his lawyers are in talk with WWE to work out the situation.
Well, but Jesse, this is following everything you said was going to happen.
Well,
They
yeah.
were going to make his ass sweat for about a month.
Because here's the thing, what he will not admit. He fucked up. You shouldn't have lied to get yourself fired
Yep.
and then try to just walk onto another company. Now, here's the worst part about it. They're so fucking stupid, they should have never even considered rehiring you until they knew about your contract situation.
But here is as Zach was talking about.
So I would assume by February he'll be back in
Well,
AEW.
well, no, Jesse. What's happening is exactly what you said. It's a dick move, but at the end of the day, it wasn't like Andrade had a halo going in the situation.
No.
And Jesse,
He was insanely guilty.
And Jesse, like WWE, or like you said, WWE's not going to stop you from working for a year, but they're damn sure going to motherfucking make you sweat it out for about 30
TKO's going to make
days.
you sweat that shit out because you lied.
Yep.
And you didn't read your contract clearly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing.
but see-
That's the other thing. Oh, and by the way, Jesse. Oh, I'm sorry. Jesse, you're hired by a French record label. You don't speak or read the language. What's the first thing you do? Hire a fucking agent that does.
And a French lawyer that can translate it.
Yeah.
But
Ain't that fucking hard?
See, I look at you as if the CML guys that are coming up here, the males or females.
I'm sure. Okay.
But if-
Hold on.
but
Pause. I've been trying to answer your question. I know where you're going. I'm trying to answer your question, Larry. They're doing it because unfortunately the check from Tony is still bigger than anything.
It's probably bigger than the one
that
in
they're
Mexico.
getting from CMLL. So they're gonna not speak on it until they're no longer making. Here's the problem: as long as CMLL is contractually partnered with AEW, CMLL talent are basically on a what you would call a gag order. They're not going to say anything that's happening to them. It's unfortunate how a lot of these places work, but that's probably what I would guess is happening.
I'm
They're
just-
basically being... And remember, Tony loves NDAs. He does.
Oh yeah, but
Just forgot to give Sarah one.
But I'm just looking at too. It's like, how much are they giving him? Because if they're stuck here for a 2 week or 3 week period of time, and they can't go anywhere, or if they can't get a booking somewhere in the U.S. to do an independent show or stuff like that, what the heck are they gonna do? I guess they're making enough money, but what if they're not?
Fucking,
I mean, Tony
according,
don't give a shit.
according to Sarah, fucking deal with it.
Well, that's about it.
Call Karen in HR,
And the bad part about
and
that
she'll just
too
fucking not do anything about it.
is they're away from their family. I mean, some people, wrestlers, it's kind of understanding
It's
thing,
just,
but still,
it's insane to me.
It's
still, though,
crazy.
that
I also hate to say this, and I really don't want to say it,
I
but
do 1 day of taping.
But we have to apologize to the rest of the world when I say this because sadly it's true. Jesse, unfortunately, these are guys here on legitimate work visas, and ICE is running fucking amok right
Yeah.
now.
yeah.
That's kind of a problem.
But
Which
I'm
means
looking
they
at
could
them
just
like,
be deported.
it's like, where are they staying for? I mean,
Unfortunately, Jesse, they don't get lucky enough to be deported back home. They get stuck.
Let
in
me
the
be
fucking...
very clear. I don't like the videos of Triple H with Trump, but I understand what's going on.
Oh, dude, anyone that blames him for that shit. Okay, quick question.
It didn't
How do you
look like
think?
he was
How do you
enjoying
think?
himself.
How do you think you would handle the fact that literally one of the dumbest, most evil, most fucking maniacal idiots in the world is in charge of something, and your fucking family is in bed with the guy? How's that work out for you?
You have to massage his ego because you also have talent. So you got to massage his ego to protect your talent.
Not only that, but Jesse,
Uh-huh.
this is the most unfortunate part for Stephanie, and I feel for her. She's got 3 girls. That's their grandmother.
yeah.
I want to be clear. It is clear to me Stephanie cannot stand Donald Trump.
Bro, Stephanie actually somewhat addressed the Vince thing in the interview
Yeah.
with AJ. Didn't get directly into
No.
things, but she talked about the difficulty of managing the family when that happened. And I'm like, this woman is innocent, but fuck is she
Like
screwed.
she said, how do you explain
know.
to your daughters what Grandpa did? Now think if you're Triple H, you took over the booking. All like you're like how. What the fuck do you do?
You know, I kind of have a similar situation with my parents being a divorce, but
Yeah.
but my dad did not do anything close to that. But trying to explain,
and we're not here to air it,
but-
and we're not here to air your dirty laundry. With
No,
your
no.
family,
I mean,
obviously,
but
yeah.
it's just a simple thing. As I got older, it was the divorce. But trying to explain that to my kids is like they saw Grandpa. Now they're not going to see Grandpa anymore.
Right.
And I have to kind of explain it to them so they understand
yeah.
what's going on. And that's
But you're not even
And that's
close to the
tough.
level of grandma.
Oh, no.
Grandma is currently trying to destroy.
Grandma's a crook.
Yeah, who's destroying the Department of Education?
Grandpa is clearly fucking evil.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I know I'm not at that level, but I'm at a simple level.
Yeah.
And then for Shane and Steph, that's Mama and Pop.
Yeah.
I'm at a simple level trying to explain to my kids.
Jesse,
And at a simple
Jesse, you've
level,
always
that's
said
tough.
your family or your parents weren't exactly, perfect, whether together or in some of the stuff they
Well,
did.
they did not get along.
No,
they were
yeah,
together
no.
long.
But obviously,
Together enough to make me, but yeah.
but unfortunately,
That's all
Jesse,
how good my ex was.
but unfortunately, Jesse, you have to manage the fact those are still your parents.
Well, right. But here's the thing. And this is where I say to people, I'm like, you can call me a what are they like, WWE
Stan.
or like a E drone or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, the reason I sympathize with Triple H is this on a business level and a personal level is this. I would go smooth over shit with that evil motherfucker in the White House as well because I have Mexican talent. I have talent from Africa. Like, I have to make sure I protect my talent. I got talent he can deport back to fucking Ireland. if he chooses to do so.
For some
No,
strange reason, and by
he's
the way,
sending them to
quick
South Africa
question.
first.
Maybe you two have actually been on this more. I actually will stand here and be ignorant to this, and I'm willing to ask live on the show. When the fuck did the Somalis people become a problem? What was the thing that sparked that? I don't actually know why all of a sudden the media...
Because they're in Minnesota and he doesn't like the governor.
No. It's because they're
He
black.
He called them fucking inhuman.
He called them garbage.
He called them garbage.
It's because they're black.
He's
He
used
called
that
the governor
word.
a fucking retard.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He hates black people. He also hates people who he knows are smarter than him, and that's Governor Waltz. And actually have some credentials.
Jesse,
That's about 80% of the country.
Jesse, I'm gonna steal a line
He
from
hates
him
us.
for once. I'm gonna steal a line from Leroy for once. I'm gonna go fucking stupid 10th grade childish humor that he does. Guess what? My dog took a shit this morning. It's smarter than he fucking is.
Well, yeah, probably.
It was smoking.
Well, it was because it's cold as shit out.
Here's the thing.
Oh, it's
though.
cold out.
That's what I said.
I don't like. I hate it. Yes, there's this really famous, Twitter famous dude that everyone keeps getting on because he's like, I stopped watching WWE because I saw them go to the White House, and they're like, dude, what the fuck is Triple H supposed to do to protect his family and his talent? No, be like, fuck this guy.
This guy, literally because he's a petty little dick bitch, goes after everyone individually out of... He wants the fucking NFL to rename the fucking stadium.
It's funny because this could be one of the other times.
Name him after me. It'd be wonderful.
Because he wants them to be renamed the Redskins. The funniest thing that could happen right now is because that league is so powerful. Mm-hmm. He could literally, Roger Goodell could be like, the president can also suck my dick, and we're keeping
And by the way,
name.
Leroy, did you hear the latest news? You can no longer go to a national park in the United States on Martin Luther King Jr. Day or Juneteenth for free. But you know what day you can go to a national park for free?
On his birthday.
On his fucking birthday.
On the red-haired fucking moron's birthday?
Yep. So apparently,
They are suppressing my brothers, motherfucker.
on a realistic note, before we get back to wrestling, Jesse, how much more until the giant black population of the United States doesn't just get rid of this motherfucker?
No, we're waiting for you guys to do it. Yeah, no, we're sitting this one out.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
You know, we tried to tell everyone. Now listen, I don't hate Kamala, but I told people, I'm like, she's not a good candidate, and they waited too late to do it.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, unfortunately, she said the one thing you should never say in an election cycle. Oh, we're just going to leave things the way they are. Never do that.
yeah, that was stupid.
That's a bad idea.
Especially when you got Governor Waltz, who was actually insanely well liked by the people of America.
Yeah.
So,
But anyway.
But
yeah.
here's the thing,
No,
so-
what do you want Triple H to do?
what the fuck do you want Triple H to do? Not stick up for people?
As long as you're nice to this motherfucker, he won't deport half your fucking foreign talent.
But I do agree with you. You gotta have to.
Chelsea Green just got her American citizenship, and he could revoke that shit.
Guys, I want you to remember, Drew McIntyre got stuck in London because of this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Or he got stuck in Ireland. And so they had to, remember, that's why they were uncertain, like, he might not make the event.
They basically had to negotiate.
He had to negotiate getting him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 95% of the time that president was shot, it was by a white dude.
Just, I cannot.
No, it's true.
13 card subject change does not endorse anything that Leroy says on this podcast.
I'm just looking back in history,
I
man.
cannot believe people are sitting there trying to stand on this fake pedestal about Triple H meeting with the president, and now we hear this from Sarah. And by the way, it all makes sense because we've heard it before. And now you're trying to denigrate Sarah? Nah, go fuck yourself, bro.
He's got, yeah.
And by the way, let's be real. If he wasn't part super rich Muslim, you would actually be super pissed. Let's be real.
Oh, it's true.
If his dad wasn't the owner of an NFL franchise, they would be pissed. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
That's too hard.
That's why since this story's come out,
If this was Eric Nordstrom, you'd be pissed. Unfortunately for you guys, this would never be Century, but you know that's
here's the thing.
Really? Oh,
I-
we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you.
Listen, that's
We're not-
that's because they're full of minorities, so it would be stupid to do that to yourself.
That's
But
true.
here's the thing.
That's not nice to say about the masked men.
If they, well,
We're not talking about them. We're
when
not sure.
when I say minority, I mean their penis because they have no heart. So when so say DPW blew up more.
Yeah.
This could not come out about Eric
No.
because that means
If he was in charge.
because we especially, right, because especially that would probably mean that this company has more investment into that company, and I'm not fucking allowing that kind of shit on my dime.
Yeah, no shit.
That couldn't happen. Let me be clear. That couldn't be happening as we grew. You heard that about me. You two would have every right to be like, oh, we Jesse's gone. Jesse's gone because that's unfucking acceptable. We can't allow him to treat people like that. Like that, like it's not fucking acceptable.
Jesse, this is the part that no one ever wants to talk about. There were a lot of people that said a lot about Harvey Weinstein, Cat Williams being one of them, because once again, Cat Williams didn't actually lie about anything on that fucking
prophetic.
Prophetic
is the word.
Yeah, but no, Jesse, it's just that's the thing. This is what I hate about woke America is when they all of a sudden are like, yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, he didn't say shit when 40 people were saying it fucking 10 years ago.
Right.
Now you give a shit? CM Punk already said this. Basically verbatim. And now someone else is saying it, but you're not listening to a female. That's not very woke of you. You're not listening to a former talent who you were all for when they were there.
Right.
And you're not listening to someone who, as far as anyone has reported, is not drawing a dime from WWE.
You know what the worst part about this is, Zach? The talent, again, attacking her. Something comes out about AEW, Leroy. The talent attacks somebody. Hey, Ricochet, stand the fuck down. What are you doing? It's not a time to troll, nigga. What are you doing? Will Ospreay, you of all people, what the fuck are you doing? You had so much shit to say. And by the way, some of those bookers, but we keep saying, WWE did not kill the London scene. The London scene killed the London scene. Some of those bookers did terrible shit, especially to women. And he spoke out. One now speaks out. You're like, it just sounds like a disgruntled employee. Really?
Was
really?
Was it a disgruntled employee when women were being treated like fucking shit in the independent scene over in the UK?
No, let's be clear. And if you want to block this out on the trigger warning, if you want to block, you should block this out when you put it out on Spotify and stuff. You should actually block out when I say this. Women were raped in that fucking scene.
Yep.
And some people didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Including some of the female talent. And all glory to all the men who stood up and was like, this is disgusting. We went to certain people that would not fucking do anything about it. So we had no choice but to finally go to the police about it.
Unfortunately, the way some people are,
because by the way,
some women are treated,
because
they're
by the way,
afraid.
Well, yeah,
to say
exactly.
anything,
But,
which is
but no,
horrible.
by the way,
They should
Jesse
never be
Jesse
afraid of that.
literally put the timeline on our show when the independent scene of the British Isles all of a sudden started to fall apart. That was shortly after the fucking speak
the Me
out.
Too movement.
The Me Too, yeah.
What was the official WWE or not WWE, but what was the wrestling name for the
Me Too or
equivalent?
the Speak Out.
I forget. I know it was during the Me Too movement. Though then some of those women had to be called to attention because like the shit about the Indian comedian. It was just like, so you had a bad
It was literally
date.
the Speak Out movement. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then some women had to be called to attention because it's like, wait a minute. What we're not going to do, because it's not a Kosh. Who was the guy that used to be around Kanye West all the time, the Indian comedian?
Oh, shit.
Funny dude.
Yeah.
But he was called out because basically as everyone was reading it, it was like, okay, so you had a bad date and then he made you pay for a cab home? That he's not a sexual assaulter for that.
No. But Jesse, you literally chronicled on the show the sort of downturn of the British wrestling scene was shortly after the Speak Out movement.
Yes, because most of their bigger male wrestlers ended up fucking getting in trouble. Does anybody remember the name Jimmy Havoc?
Unfortunately, I was about to bring up the fact used to love Jimmy Havoc. Don't know more.
By the way, it's a blessing it's 4 years later, and he's as beloved as he is because one of the biggest American names during that was Darby Allin. That's been forgotten about. Priscilla Kelly keeps fucking reminding people. Apparently, everyone's forgotten about that.
Needless to say, folks.
To give WWE credit, they didn't because they were like, well, we're never going to sign him anyway, so you're good, baby. But like, it's crazy to me that once again something is being spoken about in AEW, and any other time we'd be like, especially if it was WWE.
Also,
like, we've got to really listen to this.
Oh, by the way, funny story, folks. You want to talk about? No. I'm gonna bring this shit up. I'm gonna bring this shit up right now. It's interesting when you search "Speak Out Movement Wrestling." There's a Wikipedia page, as there is for everything.
Right.
So you know how Wikipedia a lot of times has those like drop down sections.
Sure.
So history.
Sure.
Response. See also and references. Those are 4 of the 5 drop downs. Those are pretty obvious. I mean, those are things you would see for anything. British Parliament inquiry is the 5th drop down.
Yep.
Wow.
Fuck you people blaming WWE for that shit.
Them taking talent wasn't the death of your scene. The death of your scene was the fact that you had a lot of pieces of shit in your scene. Now
They were helping a lot out by doing that.
Now let's be clear, because we've been one of the few podcasts to speak about it. Even in the American scene,
Well,
in what you would call the golden age, there was a lot of terrible fucking human beings who were stars,
And
unfortunately.
also, by the way, we're going to move on from this, but I'm going to finish up by saying this because this is something that unfortunately has not been said by a lot of pundits in the past. And we're going to end this by going, you'll wonder why women don't speak out often. Because when they do, we got to defend the fucking billionaires. That's funny. It's an interesting way to look at things.
All I want to say is, Sarah, thank you for bringing it up. Keep bringing stuff up. Mm-hmm. Not because I want to see AEW die.
No.
Because I want to see somebody investigate.
And not only that, as we are sometimes petty, keep cashing those checks, even if they are a little bit late.
If they're going to pay you, keep the money.
And unfortunately,
I agree with you
this is
there.
not the best time, but this is where we're going to do it. Leroy, if you would please, here, drop our sponsor, BetterHelp. All right. Unfortunately, due to my phone dying and not having a charger in this corner of the living room, Leroy, could you do me a favor and bring up this week's Dynamite card? Because, wow.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Hey, Jesse, how them ratings been going on Dynamite?
Not good.
Where do you usually bring it up?
Just
under?
just search AEW Dynamite results.
I want to say you can usually.
Oh, okay.
And the top result should be AEW.com. Jesse, while he's doing that, you want to use your phone and get the rating for this week?
Sure, give me just a second.
For December 3rd.
December 3rd. Yeah.
Are we gonna look at Deadline today, or are we gonna do that next week?
We'll do Deadline next week since
All right.
I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing.
I
A lot of stuff going on.
Hey,
right
you know
now.
what? You know what's funny?
I did this morning. It wasn't bad.
My
it wasn't bad at all.
my Alexa at home is like, hey, I have some wonderful ideas for you to do today because it's cold out. You should sit and watch some wrestling. I'm like, oh my God, it's listening to me. That's I said, hey, I'm doing something better. I'm talking.
You know
about
what's
a
funny
wrestling
to me?
podcast.
While we get the results, you know what's really funny to me is that everyone always like, well, Alexa's listening. I'm like, yeah, they literally told you that before they sold it to you, but you still bought it anyway.
I think it's funny. Well, then I told him, I said, hey, I'm doing a podcast about
All right,
wrestling.
so anyway, Leroy, I've got it.
got
So,
it.
well, yeah, no,
I got it right here.
well, yeah, no, I got it, but I'm gonna read through this real quick for you. All right, but anyway, Jesse, I don't know why I don't get it. Why are we pushing Eddie Kingston with only a week back from his injury? Not even 2 weeks back?
Well, because they did the world title. Remember, he earned this world title match, and I was just like, why? So he can fucking lose?
Talk about it.
Remember, because so they did the number one contender thing, and I was like, why? You're going to do a match in 2 weeks. He's just going to fucking lose.
Badly.
Joe just won this title.
Yeah.
This is something you should be building towards in a pay-per-view for maybe him to win.
Yeah. Next up, I don't know why this is the most confusing thing in the world to me, and nothing against those guys, but they were doing so much better on the indies. Why is the Dark Order all of a sudden getting pushed to the trios situation when they haven't even been on this fucking television in like 8 months?
You know what? Here's the thing. Because some people will say this to me about the Wyatts.
Yeah.
By the way, they're wrong when they say just be happy they're on TV. And I'm like, well, they're probably the most popular group, and then they're one of the most compelling stories because Triple H and Bo Dallas is not going to allow it to not be. They made a promise.
Yeah.
I like everyone in the Dark Order for the most part.
Yeah.
Always have.
Yeah.
Big fan of Uno, even though Stu he's kind of been back, but
Yeah.
love John, all that. At least they're giving them fucking something to do.
I mean, it's a sad statement, but yeah.
So let's go back to 2019. Do we remember how they debuted? Looking like a really terrible sex cult.
Ripping out someone's tongue.
Sitting on men that looked like they were naked in leather. Just gay shit. And then, of course, they had a peak moment when, of course, they had the late Brody Lee.
Yeah, it was good then, yeah.
You know, they brought in a young Anna Jay and all that kind of good stuff. And then
Who, by the way, breaking news, Anna Jay.
Contract's up soon.
Rumored to be on her way to someplace else. Can't wait for the stands to hate on her when she gets big.
I believe it says N and then an X and then T. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Are you going to go through the
I got
show?
it right here. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
I got it up here right now, too, so.
Yeah, but again, you didn't watch. We're going to fix that in 2026, but you didn't watch. Jesse, once again, in the
Still
midst
waiting.
of trying to tell the shitty stories.
I got to prepare myself for that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be doing a lot of praying.
It ain't going to help.
It's going to help me.
I have never been.
God can't help you in this place. There is no God in this realm.
I have never
Yes,
taken anything in the butt, but I would assume that watching AEW is the same process. There's no way to prepare.
No. Anyway, Jesse.
Thank God last that happened to me. I was out
Jesse,
cold when that
you know
happened.
what's strange? Stop making them laugh while we're trying to do a show, you dumbass.
That's a terrible joke, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
It's the only time it's ever happened. I was out
It's
cold.
funny.
But anyway,
did wake
Jesse,
up once and
once
it was
again,
horrible.
you're
Oh,
trying to
God.
tell stories. You're trying to get, make your television go. And then this time of year, boy, howdy, is it the opposite of what he's going for with the G1. Jesse, just out of nowhere, you throw these fucking league matches in the middle of things for the Continental Classic. We go through this fucking supposedly emotional
Go ahead,
story
go
with
ahead.
Hook and Kingston,
Go ahead.
and then you just throw Okada versus Pac in the middle of it. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
For a mid-card title that doesn't matter.
And it looks like both of them
And
have
Okada's
3
technically
points.
still the fucking champ. Ugh. Anyway, Okada won. He's on the board. Pac, I don't know why we're doing this, but
Well,
whatever.
he's got 3 points now, doesn't he? Okada.
Well,
It looks like they.
well, yeah.
It says Okada 3, Pac
Okay.
3.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they both have 3 points.
Yeah. But anyway, next up,
I gotta look at the rules again. I thought they got 2 for a win.
you get 3 for a win
Oh, so
Yeah, you got 3 for
he would have 9 points then.
if he was 3-0, yeah. But Okada lost the opening round match.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, Jesse, why is Mark Briscoe supposed to be elevating this thing, and the very first person he's facing is Daniel Garcia, who's just been a fucking lackey in the Death Riders for the last fucking 2 months?
Hey. So I was watching. When I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, like, as I'm watching Daniel Garcia, I'm like, hey, does anyone? Oh shit. Hey, does anyone remember when Shannon Moore was the lackey for Matt Hardy?
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
and like initially, everyone was like, "Oh man, Vince is really gonna like do something with this kid," and then basically all he ever did was take fucking pins.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. Because everyone was looking forward to this. AEW National Champion Ricochet had a busy weekend, commandeering a camera crew and telling us how in demand they've been since winning the national title. Jesse, who the fuck was asking for Ricochet over the last 2 weeks?
Who the fuck's been asking for Ricochet for the last 8 years?
It's a valid point.
Besides his fiance, maybe. By the way, at this point, my dude, that's the only thing you got.
Also, but hey, Leroy.
He better hope.
I'm seeing where you're at. I'm reading that.
He better hope he doesn't run into an Adam 35 or whatever the fuck that guy's name is situation where a bigger black dude with a bigger dick wants to fuck Samantha, because he's going to get cucked. Ricochet is useless, bro. Ricochet is so useless, I almost turned my TV off. This nigga's trash.
Next up, you want to know, Leroy, why I'm so angry at Tony Khan for a certain purchase? The national championship, a mid-card title that's just been introduced, is going to be defended against one of the most prestigious titles in wrestling, the Ring of Honor World Champion Dalton Castle. Dalton, what the fuck are you still doing here? There's no loyalty to Ring of Honor anymore. I'm sorry.
Defend it for the first time on Ring of Honor.
What do you want me to tell you?
And how many people watch that? 12? Hey.
Don't you fucking look at me with that face, sir.
Hey, you know what? You know the only thing that's worse? And it could be less than that is people playing their video game.
You fucking asshole. You guys, hopefully we'll go live next week. This fucking dick gave me like the staff is, as he said. Who the fuck watches that? 12 people? Yes, I'm one of 12 people, man. What do you want me to say? No one watches Ring of Honor anymore.
Hey, unfortunately, Leroy.
At least you're not playing the video game.
Oh, God.
Leroy, nobody is. We shared that to our Facebook page.
I know.
And by the way, do you want to know what someone did? You want to know what someone did to try to defend what? No. Okay,
did
Jesse.
Somebody
no,
try to defend
time out.
that?
No, pause. No, they didn't defend that. Somebody, Jesse, you'll laugh at this probably harder than that. Somebody actually commented on that fucking post.
Yeah.
Not like the one I took it from, and they were like, "Who cares about Steam numbers?" And I was like,
Wow.
If you're a video game aficionado, you do.
"What do you think Tim the Tap Man is reading off of when he tells you how many people are playing the game right now?"
Steam.
Everybody
uses Steam.
I deleted the game for almost 2 years
Not
ago.
to mention the fact, Jesse, no one bought the hard copies.
I got it free on the network.
No one's playing it at home.
My son played it 5 minutes.
Who
And then he laughed.
Who cares if my girlfriend fucked an NFL player? I
Oh.
think she's still my girlfriend.
Jesse.
That's AEW fans in a nutshell.
Yeah,
What
basically.
did you do there?
I got you. Who cares that? By the way, you're gonna have to make sure you keep tapping it, otherwise it'll do this.
All right.
Who cares that I parlayed $50 for a fucking Titans game and they lost? Nigga, apparently not you, dude. Listen. First of all, more than 12 people do watch Ring of Honor, but that was funny.
That was good.
And number two,
It was insulting to us, but it was good.
because he just like stared at me like, "You sad man." I'm sorry, I love professional wrestling.
I'm not. No, I love you, Jesse.
It kind of hurt my soul, so I had to
You're not
laugh.
You're not a sad man.
And then number two, these titles don't. You think people keep telling me WWE has too many titles, and at times they do.
Yeah.
But not as many as AEW. This is ridiculous.
No.
Dude, I think...
Unless it's... Because seriously, unless a title is involved, they barely do good stories with anything.
Right. Also, next up, Jesse, I know the G1 does a good job of this because Jado and Gato have been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
You sometimes put faction members on the same block.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy versus Roddy on Collision. They're not selling that I'm supposed to. And by the way, all they did was the word of the day apparently was retribution.
I don't know what that means, but
yeah. All I know is
so
this.
the match was pretty solid. I did watch that Collision match. Collision was actually kind of solid this week. But yeah, to be honest, here's the thing: if with the G1 when they do that, it's supposed to be a conflict. Because the guys understand they have to compete.
Yeah.
But if it's the leader of the group, he wants you to just lay down.
Yeah.
and that's supposed to create that kind of conflict.
Yeah,
I think Orange Cassidy is the leader of the conglomeration,
you would think.
but like, there's no conflict within him about anything.
Next up, we got a medical update on Darby Allin. Spoiler alert, Darby Allin can't be in the Continental Classic, Leroy. So they replaced him with the absolute most in-demand wrestler ever. Fucking Jack Perry.
Hologram. Oh,
I gotta
was gonna say
suffer.
hologram.
I gotta suffer through that fucking piece of shit. Can't fucking wait on that.
We missed it, yeah.
Next up, Jesse. If you have a tournament, you have a match, and someone gets over, you pivot and you figure out what to do. But no, we're gonna give you this boring ass dude known as fucking Kyle Fletcher versus Kevin Knight. He's gonna beat Kevin Knight. Oh, but Kyle Fletcher's more over than Kevin Knight. Not after week 1. Kevin Knight was the fucking talking point of the fucking Continental Classic. So Kevin Knight's not fucking worth nothing in this goddamn tournament.
I'm at a loss. What? Okay, so I'm just trying to get my ducks in a row here.
Yeah.
Usually in a tournament, the young up-and-comer who, of course, is going to become the superstar of the future.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. Braun. Now, Braun is kind of getting a push to the moon. He deserves it. I thought the promo was decent on Raw.
Yeah. It was a Steiner promo.
I don't know. Some people thought it was his best promo, and I'm like, this is probably his best so far. There was some things but I'm not going to denigrate the guy because he deserves a spot.
Yeah.
The mic bounce was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Hey, we don't give compliments to Logan Paul.
No, I wasn't giving compliments to Logan
He
Paul.
was actually just complimenting that he actually bounced the mic like that.
The mic bounce that Braun did was awesome.
I'm joking, Logan. Good job on catching the thing, but you're still a piece of shit.
You're still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though. So like, okay. So quick example. So 2015, Evil lost 5 matches in the G1, but it was clear because of his match with Naito, they were probably going to break him away from Los Ignobles, de Japón. So you understood what the role was. He wasn't going to win, but he's having these great matches where he almost won all the other 5, except for the Kenny match where he got fucking squashed because Kenny was a champ. And you get okay, this guy's next in line. This is the guy you want to push. The problem trying to do that with Kevin Knight, and then you have Kyle Fletcher beat him. Is Kyle Fletcher, as we talked about earlier, has no fucking momentum.
He should have beat Kyle Fletcher.
Right.
100%. Especially with what happened next. Because, Leroy, you want to know what the fuck just happened after this match?
Not really, but okay.
Okay.
Let me look it up.
No, it's okay because you know what? Your reaction was my reaction. Hey, Jesse, you know what's a good old-fashioned thing in wrestling? A good old-fashioned, we're going to hold your money in duffel eggs and make you come to the ring for it, boys. What the fuck? Like, I say this a lot, but what the fuck was this segment to lead to a brawl? What the fuck was this?
I thought, like...
No, Leroy. He called out the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Because they had the money of the Young Bucks, and he said, quote, Kenny won't finance them. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
I thought drug dealers had big duffel bags full of money.
They do, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's usually bodies in those.
Well, you usually have to wash the money. Literally wash the money.
Well, no, I thought it was just like 8 heads.
But
eight
what?
Heads on a duffel.
That's why they call it laundering.
But what was this? Jesse, I've never in my life seen wrestlers go to the ring because you took money from them when everyone knows they're the highest paid tag team in wrestling.
Remember, their story is that they're broke.
Well,
So Tony Khan doesn't pay Mexicans or Bucks. Got it.
I just, it's hard for me to be
because
fair.
they're not white.
It's hard for me to be fair to the Young Bucks. I hate them so much.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do it today. Next segment.
I have
all
a
right.
question. I'm doing how many belts they have. How many belts are in ROH?
Fuck me.
Fucking
Ring of Honor World Champion, Ring of Honor TV Champion,
Ring of Honor Women's Television Champion.
the Ring of Honor Pure Champion,
the brand new the brand new Ring of Honor Women's Pure Champion.
and then the
Women's Television Champion.
the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles,
the Ring of Honor Trios titles.
Maybe you gotta.
It's almost 10.
Leroy, I love you.
Wow.
Leroy, I love you. Please don't be 7 segments back. We're going to go back to Dynamite for a minute. Next up, Jesse, we saw the Babes of Wrath, and then we saw that hardcore holiday death match thing that once again was so out of place in the Why do I want to see the finals now? I've already watched these women try to fucking kill each other.
I just want to remind everyone. Listen, Jim Cornette could speak bad about back in the day. He didn't really like what Anisha,
Oneida,
Onita, and then
ECW.
Well, just that promotion.
Okay, yeah.
Back in Japan, back in the day.
Yeah.
But there were actual stories going on for those matches, and the same thing for ECW.
Yeah.
Now, where some of us agree with Jim Cornette about Renegade, what does he like to call it?
Outlaw
Mug Show Wrestling, is like when GCW would do shit for no reason. That's what this was. There's no reason for this. You're just doing it because you can do it. Which also means that Tony Khan is a fucking liar. Because didn't he just do the interview and say, oh, wait, we don't do any of that when we don't have to do it?
But he felt this was a necessary spot.
Apparently he felt this was necessary.
Yeah. In the middle of a fucking no-name December 3rd fucking Dynamite. Here we go. In the semifinals. Not even the fucking finals. Not even the fucking finals.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Next up, AEW World Champion Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter challenge the Sisters of Sin for Collision Winter is Coming. Why?
How do you have fucking Julia Hart, Thekla, and Sky Blue?
Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander. But go on.
This is all they're doing with those 3 women.
That's all I gotta say. Next up, the segment where I just rolled my eyes when I saw the clip. Dark Order runs into Hangman because we have to keep reminding people that he was with them for a period of time. Jesse, fine. I won't hate on Hangman in this segment. I'll hate on the fact that nobody wants to remember this was a fucking gag.
I'm not going to lie. There's still a small part of me that hopes he becomes a new leader. Here's why.
You ain't got nothing else going on?
No. Because
Well, it's true, too.
I did agree with a cowboy doesn't wear bedazzled pants. I fucking agreed with that. That's just true. Every cowboy would be like, that's cool you did that for your daughter, but we don't do that. Number 2.
It's slightly gay, and I'm not.
No, there's no slightly about it.
I love gay people.
I love
but I'm
gay
not
people.
insulted.
A gay person would walk into a room and be like, wow, that's fucking gay.
He'd be like, what the fuck is up with that?
And then, why'd you have to do the lisp, though?
Careful.
His wife's going to fuck you up, sir. And then number 2, that lisp was perfect.
It really
His
was.
his wife or my wife?
His wife.
My wife will fuck your wife. My wife will fuck you up. Your girl will be like, it was a little too good.
You did that lisp a little too well.
No,
Yeah.
she'd be like, I'll hold them for you.
Shit. She already has him.
But here's the thing though, like at least you want to talk about forwarding his character, having him be like, I do kind of owe these dudes. I'm trying to get my title back, even though it'll be
fine,
also.
whatever. I'm just so fucking aboard with the fact that I don't think they have a goddamn clue what Hangman does in between title matches.
I understand you don't. Well, his booking is shit, and I understand you don't like Hangman, but I personally did not mind this because a part of me is like, I kind of hope he does this because it would be good for the Dark Order.
No,
who
you want to
I
explain
like.
to me why I'm pissed off? Let me get to it. But first of all, Mercedes Moné spoke. You lost. Fuck you, bitch. FTR had words for the Bang Bang Gang. This is a tag team match I should look forward to, but I don't because both teams suck right now.
I fucking love the Bang Bang Gang, too.
Here's why, Jesse, I fucking don't care about what Hangman did. Why did the Dark Order lose the fucking non-title match to the Ops? Now defend this.
I know. No. There's no defending it. Like I said, when I saw it, a part of me had hopes.
I love this. Hangman kept his promise and waited for the match to end before he hit the ring. Maybe you should have helped them win, and then they would have forgotten that they asked you to not get involved. You fucking dunce!
But he's also a babyface.
So he's a tweener at best. He's a morally corrupt. You can't be a full babyface when you burn down a motherfucker's house.
It's true. I agree with that.
And hung a black dude. Well,
that too.
That's just bad. That's bad. He should have interfered. It would have been way better.
Here's the thing. Only reason why I saw these guys together and was hoping for something is because I remember the Bucks used to not be a part of their own show anymore on YouTube, which was nice. And it was the Dark Order and God rest his soul, Brody Lee and Hangman. And seriously, the chemistry between all the guys was fucking great. And I'm like, you could really do something really cool with this on TV.
That's back when Hangman was interesting, yeah.
Well,
he could become interesting
even when he was just doing that with them.
And I can take a shit in the morning. Next.
Even when he was doing that with them
too, man.
and not doing anything fun on TV, I was just like, there's more to him than they're allowing on television, and it's a goddamn shame. But, yeah, I like it.
What also bothered me was, Leroy, after this little incident with the Ops, they decided to fucking force feed a segment in between Hangman calling out the Ops. And you know what that segment is? It's now officially the segment of Okada and Takeshita. Fuck or get it over with. I don't give a shit anymore.
They really do need to fuck or get it over with.
Because what? It literally says, almost get into it again. Boy, how many more fucking adjectives or verbs do we need?
Boys, fuck or fight. Your pants are already off. Somebody do something. We're going to get to match at some point.
Somebody take it in the ass. And
Jesse, you talk about WWE taking too long to set something up. This is a fucking albatross on this television show.
Yeah, this is
Fucker, get off the pot, boys. Jesus Christ and a cracker.
Really horse shit porn then.
And the worst part about it is Takeshita looks like a bitch the whole time. Because he doesn't do anything back to Okada. Jesus fucking Christ. I've never seen two people with more chemistry and just be like, fuck or get it over with.
That's the crazy part. They do have crazy good chemistry. And
for some reason, because we can't do it with Dominic anymore because he's actually the biggest star that came out of the Royal Rumble, oddly enough. I can't believe I haven't said it. And Renee was there. I don't know why she was there.
Well, she
everywhere.
did beat up RJ this week, if you saw that.
No one saw it because no one cares.
They did the last episode of Hate You with RJ, and she beat him up and told him to shut the fuck up. And then somebody put a joke underneath there like, man, she finally took out her issues with her husband on RJ.
Oh, wow.
RJ didn't deserve that.
RJ didn't deserve
Justice
that.
for RJ. Next up, Hangman calls out the Ops, and I'm like, I don't know why we fit the fucking Don Callis shit in the middle of it, but anyway. Hangman yelling about how it took 3 years to get back to the AEW World title.
The Don Callis family is it's a worse version of Judgment Day, which actually feels stronger now with Liv back.
Yeah, exactly. Also, by the way, next up, the match everyone was talking about. Claudio beat John. Okay, cool. We're all getting to the point where they're going to kick out John Moxley. Can we just shit or get off that pot?
Once again, boys, fuck or fight. Your pants are already off. And Marina, you're well, you don't care because nobody knows you.
Fair.
Here's the thing about the Nazi boys. I mean, the Nazi Fight Club. I mean,
those dudes.
No, I would never do that to that Japan group. They're awesome.
Oh.
4 guys. They're awesome.
Just 5 guys.
No, sorry, there's 5 guys. They're awesome. Here's the thing.
Good place to eat.
It's too fucking expensive.
Well.
Hey, John. So that was 11 years ago he went on the Stone Cold podcast? I believe it was like 10, 11 years ago.
It's been almost a decade, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And because here was the thing, he didn't really call him the weakest member of the Shield. He just said, basically, he was just like, for how talented you are, you basically are. This is me paraphrasing Stone Cold.
Yeah.
For how talented you are, you ain't worth shit, and you're starting to piss me off. Because you should be doing much better shit than the shit you do. We are 10 years removed from that. You've had a lot of world championships in between. I thought you did some of your best work when the world was shut down. Hell, I thought he did some of his best work in WWE when he initially came back from injury and they reformed the show. I thought that shit was great.
Yeah.
And he had a good Japan run, too, yeah.
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 Initially, the first year and a half.
Yeah.
And I understand he was struggling with shit at the time, and I'm happy he's clean now. I am.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
John, you have officially reached
X-Pac level of go home heat.
X-Pac level of go home heat and Triple H world title run level of, dude, just go the fuck away now.
Yeah.
Lose, do what you have to do for the story, and then get the fuck off my TV. Like, I cannot keep watching you.
And oh, by the way, Leroy, do you know what they showed us after Dynamite was all over about how the Death Riders are okay? They were all just training in some fucking backyard gym, and they just acted like nothing happened. And I'm like, Jon Moxley cannot fucking tell a story without Vince McMahon in his ear to save his fucking life. Because, by the way, this is Jesse, remember when I said that he's given the promo 4 times? This is like the 3rd or 4th time they've all been training in some fucking weird-ass back room place that nobody fucking knows about. Because remember, they did that fucking thing in, like, Jon Moxley's fucking basement in Ohio?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what this is anymore. Dude, Schindler's List got to the point quicker than this fucking shit did.
And they killed a lot of Jews. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I need them to whoop his ass.
Yeah. Quickly.
And then I need them to break up.
Unfortunately, we're probably not going to get it until the end of the Continental Classic, which is another couple of months.
We might not get it till the end of the year at this fucking point.
Well, to be fair, the end of the year is only 3 weeks away.
I mean, the end of next year.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, we're going to go that long? Oh, my God.
Yeah, so anyway, that was Dynamite. I'm going to give Jesse his phone back. This shit is hard to fucking get through.
That's what she said, too.
Thank you, Leroy. I was trying to avoid that, but
Zach, dude, I swear to you, we are kindred spirits in a way.
Because you looked at him and said that
No.
was kind of dirty.
No. It's because so. I was talking to 2 other wrestlers about AEW on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was talking to a person who will eventually be on the show.
And I literally was talking to them, and luckily now some of the wrestlers.
Leroy, shut up.
Don't
Shut
say
up.
anything.
You like my new shirt?
Shut
The
up.
shirt's awesome, but don't say
Shut
anything.
up.
I'm saying, you like my new
The
shirt?
shirt's awesome.
Up.
I got this Sunday.
Go ahead, Leroy. Go ahead.
So,
Yeah.
Let's try
and
to
by
get a
the way,
different
it's
one.
kind of cool to see wrestlers go. I wouldn't mind going to AEW, but the aim is to go to WWE. And I'm like, thank you, God. Here's the
We
thing.
love them.
So, oh my God. Because I was talking about, I'm like, dude, when I started this podcast, and when I was invited to be a full-time guy on the podcast,
Yeah.
and we used to talk about Raw.
Yeah.
What was the thing under Vince I used to always say?
This is hard to get.
This is hard to fucking watch for 3 hours every week.
This is hard to watch for 2.
And I was talking to them about that.
Yeah.
And so to me, and their reaction was, is it that bad? I'm like, watch it. It's so funny. You looked at me and went, man, this is hard to fucking get through. Because that was my thought, too. Because here's the thing. I didn't hate it this week.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, getting through this show for 2 hours. I'm like, I'm a Jets fan.
Yeah.
I can take a lot.
Yeah.
It is hard to watch this show and be like, okay, what are the positives? What do I like?
Yeah.
Because, by the way, I'm not fully getting paid for this shit yet to be like, I'm getting paid to do it. No.
What do you like? The end.
No, so I talked about some of the things. I hope they do something with Hangman, Adam Page,
And the Dark Order.
in the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, that was something I actually really enjoyed.
We want the Young Bucks to be strung up by their boots, hung off the top rope, and never allowed on TV again.
Listen, I want to see the Okada fucking
Kenosuke
Kenosuke.
match.
Those are two of the best wrestlers on the fucking planet right now. Of course, I want to see that match.
Because by the way, all of Jim's complaints about Okada not trying, he ain't gonna do that with Kenosuke.
That match is gonna be a fuck. It's good. We're gonna as wrestling fans, we're gonna witness greatness on a level we have not seen in years.
Unfortunately, it's gonna be produced by Tony fucking Khan.
Here's the fun part. Are they going to do it on a pay-per-view, or are they going to give it free away on Dynamite?
Probably. No, it'll be on a pay-per-view. That one he's going to do.
He's not dumb enough to even do that.
So
I'm not holding my breath on that one because he's done it before.
here's the thing. I still love Tony Storm,
Yeah.
but even I'm like, man, you're making her shit kind of stale. You guys got to let her get back to interesting
What was
shit
so
again.
unique about Tony Storm when this character first dropped, you actually sat back and said, "Wow, every week there's a new layer to this.
Yes.
Wow, this is actually making a lot of fucking."
And it's
like-
not just the Mariah May stuff
Yeah,
either.
no. There was a lot before Mariah.
Yes.
There was a lot after Mariah.
Yes.
But unfortunately, Jesse, it's been 6 months. No, sorry. It's been 6 matches, so maybe the last 3 months, and Tony Storm has just plateaued.
Does she need to add a new twist to her character, or just...
She needs someone to work with her the way Mariah did.
Well, maybe, because here's the thing, right?
Or does she need to change her character a lot?
Listen, because there's a lot of shit with Mina Shirakawa I can ignore.
Yeah.
I don't think they should be doing it on American TV in fucking 2025. But there's a lot of things I can ignore. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But what I cannot get fucking past, because by the way, I thought the shit with, now John almost fucked that up, but I thought the shit when she interrupted the John Moxley match.
But I said
thought
that
was
last
great.
week.
Right.
John Moxley did what I think was a silent version of what Britt Baker did, where John didn't say anything to Tony that no one cares, but he acted like it.
Instead of actually selling her being out there. And so
Or getting the fuck out of the ring so Marina
right.
can fucking do the thing.
Or being like, hey, Marina, all you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, John is a mark for his own fucking
apparently.
piss smell.
But
And that's not me using a Jim Cornette line. No. Sorry, let me anything like no. Legitimately, for 5 fucking seconds, John Moxley is actually proving to be a fucking fan of his own bullshit.
Well, that's just obvious now.
But it's so fucking egregious, and people give him a pass.
Like I said, I'm done with giving him a pass. I actively
The
hate
fact
it
of the
now.
matter is that you know what I gotta fucking do as a goddamn commentator, and I tell talent this all the time: do your shit. Let me and my fucking partner, let us sell that for you. That's our fucking job. We have a job to do, and we have to do that job. Even though, yes, I will be honest, when I worked DPW, there's a lot of leeway on commentary, which apparently we're getting complimented for now. So thank you all for that, because it's a weird feeling because I'm backing into this. But the fact of the matter is this: we get a lot of leeway. But the fact of the matter is that there is still that level of we can't all of a sudden, and I'll use the business line, go into business for ourselves. We can't just all of a sudden take the piss out of everybody in the middle of what we're doing and just start talking about whatever the fuck we want. Yeah. And that's what John Moxley did to fucking Tony Storm. And it's John Moxley needs to understand something. You know who the biggest fucking draw in AEW is right now? Well, no one does because Tony doesn't even know the numbers. But I can guarantee you Tony Storm's above your fucking lazy ass.
I would doubt it, yeah.
Because here's the thing, right? More so than anything to me. When I watch AEW, I look for what could be positive potential. Because like I said, I don't want to. Why would I want this company to die? I'm a pro wrestling fucking geek on a level not seen since Jim Cornette.
We didn't want TNA to get taken off the air.
Correct.
We didn't want, which by the way happened. We didn't want Lucha Underground to get taken off the air.
That sucked.
That happened.
Yeah.
We didn't want New Japan to all of a sudden lose the momentum they had in America, and unfortunately they did.
Happened.
Mostly because AEW started, and by the way, everyone's like, well, Tony didn't start poaching talent until fucking the Forbidden Door pay-per-views. I'm like, he started with fucking Kenny and the Bucks.
Uh-huh.
Especially Kenny, who was going to sign with WWE. So here's the thing. I don't watch it to want to bash on it. I watch it hoping like, okay, hopefully this week they give me something to really latch on.
And are people starting to finally realize that from my voice, it's not bored, it's just disappointment.
I'm not gonna lie. For me, most of the time, it's anger, because it just reminds me so much of the Vince booking of like, I got a guy who's a billionaire who books
The
wrestling
Indies
for him.
blew up because Vince McMahon booked the 20 teens,
and
then unfortunately they've hit like.
It was almost like, and people don't realize, and that's why someone like myself hated that fucking Pat McAfee interview. Like, no, dude, we were your wrestling children, and then you were like, grow up, get the fuck out. I do this for me. And so, yeah, we went, well, fuck you, man. And then, like, we tried to come back because you had such great performance. Like, no one hated Roman Reigns until you made us. Because we never gave Seth too much shit until he started over fucking defending you.
Yep.
You know? No one wanted to fucking hate anything being done with Bryan Danielson until we saw his booking. So, like, it was just fucking frustrating with Vince all those years, because it was just like, dude, we're all actually trying to come back, and you're still saying fuck you.
And now we have a guy who politely says fuck you.
Right.
By pretty much calling Jesse. It's one thing to call us stupid, but then do what you want. It's another thing to call us stupid, but then pretend like you're giving us what we want.
Can I say what Tony Khan actually is? And I wish Ariel would have said it, but I understand. You got the interview with him. You're trying to be cool with him.
Yeah.
He's condescending. When you listen to him,
yeah.
For those who don't, for those who are listening, I took off my glasses just now. Go listen to that interview. He's so condescending.
Yeah.
He has to be the smartest guy in the room to him every time he's in a room. But Tony, you're not.
No.
Because a smart dude who wanted this to be successful, the moment you realize the numbers were going down, one, you should have never bashed Eric Bischoff of all people. Because that is a guy you could have been like, Eric, I need you.
That's also a guy who, by the way, your situation is not the same in the sense of Eric's shit started to suffer because the network was against him.
Correct.
You don't have that hurdle.
Like, back in the day.
Of course, the network doesn't know you exist half the time. But
back in the day.
That is true.
If not for the owner of TNT, most of the execs were fucking done with pro wrestling.
Yeah. They wanted nothing to do with it.
But because of Ted Turner, yeah. Eric got to survive, and he thrived because of that. Because at least he's like, listen, I know I got to meet with these execs. Most of them fucking hate me anyway. But as long as Ted's good with what we're doing, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that.
No.
They're happy to just get wrestling back because WWE slided them.
You've been given every opportunity, a roster of just fucking mainstay talent, stars. You've been given no hurdles that WCW got, both from a financial wallet to a fucking executive issue to all of these things. And you just decide to be the biggest arrogant prick in the fucking world. You could probably name more Georgia Championship wrestling matches than Jesse Stowe. But Jesse Stowe is going to look at you and say, I could have also booked your talent better. So what the fuck are we talking about?
Listen, I never step on any Booker's toes when I am at a promotion, because that's not what I'm there to do. I'm there to enjoy their show and for us to be there to meet other wrestling fans.
But if we're talking after you've seen the product.
But if they, and by the way, they know this. You come to me after I've watched the product, I'm very fucking honest.
Yeah.
Even with the wrestlers, I'm always honest about, I thought it was a good match. But, but you know what? Because it's not me trying to be passive aggressive.
No.
I liked the match. Here's some of the things I saw, though, that I'm not sure if you want to work on or not.
And by the way, Jesse, you also preface this, especially with talent, by saying you clearly don't need to listen to me.
Right.
But if you would like some just outsider view, here you go.
Because like I tell them, when
Tony Khan wants none of that.
Because here's the thing. Even as a musician, and I've played in front of 20,000 people before. If you come to my show and you're like, man, I really like your show, but do you know the first thing I'm going to say to you? Lay it on me.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear from
Jesse,
someone who might come back.
Well, Jesse, the one thing you and I have always talked about, you respect Tony a friend of ours, mutual friend.
Yeah.
You respect when Tony and I give you criticism when you send us some music.
Yeah.
Because the one thing you understand is that Tony and I have listened to so much goddamn different metal genres that, like, we know the vibe you're going for.
Sure.
And you also know that we know the 40 bands that have been successful in that vibe.
Right.
And the fact is that you guys can put a breakdown wherever you want in the song, but I can also sit there and be like, yeah, but you didn't build to it. You kind of just threw it in there. And that works sometimes.
Sure.
But the problem is that when you give me a classic metalcore song where there's supposed to be a build to a breakdown, I'm not going to break down metalcore right now, but you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
And then I tell you, but the problem is you just threw the breakdown in there, and that's when you go, that's what we were going for, but these guys, obviously it didn't click in their ear. So when I go back and I write a new song, I don't have to listen to them, but I can at least be cognizant of it didn't land right with people.
I'm one of the few guys who can admit, like, and by the way, even when it comes to this podcast, now there's some times when people have said things and I'm like, well, listen, there's a certain way we do things that I'm not going to force these guys to ever change, because that's not what we want to do.
No.
But if you give me constructive shit to listen to, I'm going to listen to it.
If you want us to fucking turn it into a news segment where we're just not giving you A, our opinion, but B, how we would, do our opinion like we would do just talking without microphones, then guess what? This isn't the show for you, and I'm just going to tell you that because the point of the show was free flow. Yes, sometimes we get off on tangents, but guess what? That's how you have real conversations.
I've always explained this show as it's guys hanging out at the venue after the show talking about pro wrestling. Which is probably why even wrestlers like our show.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things. We're not trying to be overly critical, but you can also tell we fucking love this.
And that's why it's so unique.
We want it to be good. We want it to work.
And that's why it's so unique to have dealt with the people that we've met in the inner circle of the Midwest scene, whether it's DPW, MAW, First Wrestling. Jesse, all they do is talk wrestling.
Yeah.
When they're in that moment.
Yeah.
They love it. They fucking... I analyze it. And the one thing that also bothers me is we've met now half a dozen, maybe a dozen at the most, trainers.
Yeah.
Obviously all from different backgrounds. Obviously all had different upbringings, this and that. Everyone from Ed Sharkey to now Caitlin Diamond over there in the Hive. Go look them up. They're fantastic. They all have different ways of doing it, but there's always this idea of there's a way to do it. And the problem, Jesse, is when those people talk, they know that Caitlin Diamond is not going to tell you I'm better than Ed fucking Sharkey. She's not going to do that because she knows what Ed's track record is.
Right.
The problem is someone like Tony Khan is going to tell you I'm booking better than Eric Bischoff, even though Eric Bischoff had ratings you'll never see.
Eric Bischoff had ratings of 10 million people. That conversation fucking ended.
And you want to know where... And by the way, the problem is you say that to a sicko, they're like, well, everyone's ratings are down. If WWE's ratings are down, you fucking throw a goddamn party.
Here's the thing with them, though. Can you just beat SmackDown? You guys don't have to worry about Raw anymore.
They're not even on fucking cable.
You're not even on NXT's level at this point. But can you beat SmackDown? Same kind of thing. They're on cable now. They're not on network television where they were tripling your fucking efforts. Beat SmackDown then.
That is the challenge you have to lay down. Beat the fucking show that unfortunately sometimes, Booker T, you can tell on commentary because I've been there, has to kind of be like, oh, they fucked that up. Anyway,
here's the
beat
thing.
that show. Beat that show.
You are now at a point you can't beat developmental.
Yeah.
You can't. It's a better show than yours.
And by the way, NXT right now, outside of like the last 45 minutes of NXT, is a lot of developmental people.
Listen,
it's a lot of people that gotta fucking work for TV time right now.
But still, I'm like, 300,000 more will watch people fuck up knowing that they could fuck up and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Than watch your program. That should tell you everything you need to know.
And you've got 15-year vets.
Correct.
And by the way, no one's done this yet, at least not that I've seen, or maybe they've done it in passing, but we're going to fucking do it. Write this down, Leroy. Next motherfucking week. Is next week the week you're out?
No.
Or was that this week? is one you said you may not.
No, I think this was this week.
Was that this week? Okay, cool. Anyway,
we misunderstood when you were supposed to be gone. And
we thought sometime in December you
Yeah.
just weren't going to be here.
No. It was just that one like a couple weeks ago for.
Got it.
Kicks.
Okay. All right. No.
That was it.
No.
I'm good for December.
We're going to do this
Unless
next week. We're going to do this
unless I
next week,
come
and we're going to
down
fucking
with
call
an
everybody
ailment.
out. Write this down.
Please don't.
Next week.
If I'm sick, then I won't.
Yeah,
Next
about to
week.
say.
Yeah. No. Next week. Jesse, you've been wanting to do it. You want to call everybody out. We're going to go over the ages of the fucking AEW roster because no one wants to fucking go over that
Because
list.
they keep telling me, like, hey, WWE's all old. And I'm like, you don't want to talk about old Elite Wrestling, OEW. You don't want to get into that.
We're going to do that next week. And Jesse, by the way, unfortunately, we need a caveat. That's not us calling out the talent. That's us calling out the fans who want to fucking talk one way but don't want to fucking talk about the other.
Okay.
Jesse gets told all the time.
What was the Dynamite rating this week?
Fucking
shit.
5 something?
So Leroy, look that up and then look up NXT's.
Yeah.
I believe right now there's a 200,000 person discrepancy.
And by the way, Jesse, that's with the new system of ratings, which has killed wrestling across the board.
Right.
Which has annihilated wrestling across the board. Although the NFL's doing fine, but Jesse, I don't think anything can kill an NFL rating.
Or basketball. Basketball does really well too.
Yeah, but right now we're still in like the December.
We're in the beginning parts of basketball, so there's fluctuates. But once the
Yeah.
NFL season's over, there it goes completely up.
Unfortunately, Jesse.
March Madness is March Madness.
Yeah,
That's what it
and
is.
Jesse, unfortunately, what's really sad is AEW. You know who fucking Tony Khan has kind of become for WWE's future, and actually they're now because they talked about that picture of Jade, Cody.
Yeah.
all that. Yeah. You know who he's become? He's become the general manager of the L.A. Clippers, or the president of basketball operations. You want to know why? He gave WWE all those guys. The guy from the Clippers gave OKC their dynasty.
Right.
Now they're 22-1 because they're fucking elite.
Right.
And by the way, just sent Chris Paul home. How'd you treat Sarah Stock? How'd you treat the Mexican guys?
How'd you treat the Lucha Brothers?
Sent their asses packing.
You basically held one hostage.
All I'm saying is, Jesse, Tony Khan gets a pass, like you said.
Because, by the way, unlike Andrade, right? Because people will also try to do that stupid fucking comparison. Unlike Andrade, he didn't lie. He was just like, how can I negotiate my release?
Yeah.
That's all he said.
Yeah.
Yes, he mentioned he would like to go join his brother in WWE. Sure.
Yeah.
But if you weren't going to use him, that shouldn't have offended you.
You iced him.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Jesse. Icing him is the same thing as not using him because guess what? You're not using him.
Right.
But why did you keep paying him? Why was he still under contract? Oh, wait. Is it the same reason why maybe WWE didn't want Andrade to go to you right away?
Also, I don't want to hear about Santos Escobar because we've seen this before. A guy resigns. We hear about the guy resigning. Oh, no, it's been 4 months. Okay, but they also have stories that they've gotten to right now.
Can I also point this out? I don't want to hear about Santos Escobar for this reason, and I won't even blame Tony for this or the fans for this. Jesse, he signed on the dotted line, so he clearly knows what's happening.
He knows the plan.
He knows what's happening.
Right.
Jesse, he was a free agent.
By the way,
He signed back.
after he signed, he hasn't said shit negative.
No.
His family had said, like a couple family members one who works in CMLL, I believe.
What's my phone at?
It's probably only at like 45%, so you'll be okay when you get home. No, it's less than that.
What's it at?
It's like 25%.
Well, we're almost done.
Yep. Ready? There you go. It's one of those things. Even the family has said he's happy. He knows they have discussed something. We don't know what it is, and we'll see him when we see him. So like clearly, Triple H has already been like, let's plan out your shit. We were signing just to be like, because by the way, Drew was the same way. Remember, people were like, oh man, he's gone. I remember this with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was gone for like 2 weeks. I was like, see, they didn't resign him. Next thing we know, he shows up at the Rumble. Like, dude, chill. There's a plan. There's a plan in place. So, yeah, man, Did you find those ratings?
I tried. I'm like, Oh, hey, wait a minute. There we go.
There you go.
I think. No.
Should be right there.
Why no? It's just like, what the fuck? Don't drop anything. Well, it pulled up one thing, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, hey, yeah, I guess that. Oh, yeah, they can do. Anyway, all I'm saying is this: like, it's not fucking great, but Jesse, we do know that right now. Let's see.
Oh, this one just has up to. It's so horseshit.
Anyway, it is what it is. But anyway, no. To finish up with AEW, because we're gonna get to the only WWE topic we have for the week, because we've been here a minute now. Because fortunately, it gets dark real early here. Here's the thing. Jesse, it's just one of those things where, from everything to an interview that is clearly being looked at a much different way now that it's happened, to Sarah stock, to past stuff, to diminishing returns on your television, it's gotta be difficult to not be somebody. I mean, Jesse, there's gotta be somebody in AEW who's not just happy to be paid and like has gotta be waiting to just get out of here. And then, I'm not saying go to WWE, but get out of here and be able to tell the story without Tony fucking. Although
it was 502K.
503K.
Yeah, 502K.
Okay, what was the NXT number?
NXT was 700 again.
Jesus Christ. Well, but see, Jesse, that's my last topic here. When I say somebody, it's got to be hard. For a star, as Sarah pointed out, it's not that bad to be in AEW. But clearly,
no, not at all.
But clearly, it's hard to just be a regular person. But Jesse, that right there is an unfortunate side effect of the business that nobody wants to talk about. Because in AEW, if you talk to a sicko, they're all stars. They're all top level. You want to know why War Games in WWE felt bigger than Blood and Guts? Because Jesse, Blood and Guts was blood and jobbers.
To quote Jim Cornette, if everyone's over, no one's over.
Yeah. Why do you think back in the day there were people that were brought into Dallas that were told, the Von Erichs are going to squash you in 5 minutes? What? But they're the Von Erichs. You are not the Von Erichs.
And as a jobber, you usually got paid kind of decently, so you took the ass whooping and you moved on.
But Jesse, remember, at one point in the business, there was this idea of you knew where you were when you went there.
Right.
When you left a territory and went someplace else, you weren't all. See, Vince is probably guilty of this, but he's also not, because Vince also didn't care that much about your indie booking. When you bring somebody in with hype, you tell everyone they're a big deal, but Vince is producing a major television show,
right,
and he's trying to build a star. Unfortunately, Tony Khan brings someone in. Well, they're over in fucking Mexico, so they're over here. Tony, unfortunately, what you're not listening to, they're not stars because your fans aren't the nerds you thought they were.
Right.
They're not, and that is the number one
right.
topic that Tony Khan will not listen to is, Tony, your audience isn't like you. Vince booked for himself. He booked out of a creepy, weird thing for fetishes. You're booking out of, I'm a nerd, I know all these stats, and meanwhile, the only other people that know as much as you, Tony, are Zach and Jesse.
And we're struggling to get through your show, buddy. We're struggling, man.
I know the names on your show. You know who does it? The other 500,000 people that are fucking watching.
It is a struggle to get through that bitch.
And that's the thing, Jesse. When we finally get that person on the show, we'll talk to them.
Yeah.
But when you can't, at the end of the day, I've said this. WWE produces a television show, and sometimes the wrestling gets lost. I get that. But at least it doesn't fucking slow the fuck down. And when it does, the WWE audience usually tells you it slowed the fuck down. The problem in AEW, though, when it slows down, the fans just sit there quietly on their hands. Mm-hmm. And then when the big high spot comes, they're all back up. And everyone's like, look at that match. This goes back to our early thing about the star ratings that when Leroy just came in. Dave Meltzer is teaching people of this generation. That's why he needs to not be allowed to have an opinion anymore. You can't have a great match without a bunch of high spots that are meant to get you to stand up, but they have to just keep going and going and going and going in for 20 minutes. And then by the fucking third time you see these guys face each other. By the way, watching Darby Allin versus fucking Pac, Jesse, they didn't do anything they hadn't already done the first 3 fucking matches.
Right.
That's why That's why you don't face each other 4 times in a month on fucking TV. Ric Flair used to face the same guy every night for a week. He was on TV twice.
Right.
The other 5 nights were in different towns.
Right.
And Rick actually made a different match out of everything. So it's like, before we get on, it's like Tony Khan is the current iteration of, I'm booking for me. Because I am sitting behind with that headset going, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And the problem is, you're supposed to be the one who, and I know it sounds cynical, especially to woke people in 2025, you're supposed to be the one on the headset with a notepad, because this is the way Jesse does things. This is what was wrong. Now, you have to find a way to address it in a proper manner, a professional manner, but you need to have the criticism. You don't need to have the praise for it. Sorry, but that's how you get better. That's how you. Unfortunately, there's no development in AEW because no one's been told they've been wrong for 5 years.
Oh, I mean, you know when you're wrong when you just stop hearing from him.
Yeah. And then you leave, and then you talk shit, and everyone who loved you, and all of a sudden you're like, wait.
All of a sudden you're a cancer in the locker room when you know.
You know what's funny? Ricochet talks all that shit.
You've never heard a word in your life about
Ricochet
that.
talks all that shit, and no one in WWE acknowledges him on Twitter. Sarah Stock says a couple of things that are pretty much at this point becoming lore, and Ricochet's got to jump in there and defend the thing that's keeping him fucking employed. I'm like, yeah, I see through the bullshit here. Anyway, as we move on, all right.
Talking about disgruntled employee. You were a disgruntled employee because you weren't getting the
It's this
matches you
Saturday.
wanted.
It's the end of the greatest WWE career.
And it's opening the show.
And John has
That's what I
basically
hear.
said, I'm
John Cena
opening, and
announced
then the
that.
rest of the night is...
NXT versus main roster.
It
So it'll probably be headlined by Cody and Obafemi.
yeah.
that's interesting. I understand a little bit from John, but I think if I was Triple H, I'd be like, no, John.
But see...
I am befuddled by John a little bit here these last 2 months. Here's
This
what I
is
mean
the
really
reason
quick.
why people are watching this.
I think John is a little too wrapped up in the phrase that he said on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. He said, they'll forget about me in 6 months.
No, so it was Joe Rogan.
Okay, yeah.
Because he said
He's done the whole talk show
because
circuit
he
the
was
last
like,
2 weeks.
you know, they're
yeah,
gonna
it's
do
a
the
lot.
Royal Rumble after my last match, and no one will give a shit that I retired. And I'm like, John, where's this self-deprecating coming from?
Right.
Like, who the fuck would forget John Cena?
And Jesse, I was going to save this until after it was over, but why don't we close the show in saying this? Leroy, no offense to you because you're more the WWE guy, so we'll get you next Sunday after it happens. So, Jesse, obviously you had to leave in the 20-teens for mostly mental reasons. You've always been more involved in the outside of
Vince
things.
will do that to you.
Yeah.
So, Jesse, now that it's finally coming to an end and you look back on it, what is John Cena's legacy to somebody who watched everything else? Where does he rank?
I mean, I watched most of his career too.
Well, yeah. Where does he rank on your all-time list
Wow.
overall? Because, I mean, Jesse, remember, he did wrestle a certain, I'll call it, promoter's style
Well, regardless, John Cena's a top 5 guy all time, man.
worldwide.
If I remove my personal feelings, because of course for me, right now it's Bray Wyatt and then everybody else, and it's just because
Sure, yeah.
I understood, and so that's why I'm like when I was appreciative when you guys let me spoke after he died, because I'm like I understood even before I met the man, and then I was just like, that's my kindred spirit who's doing something I would have loved to do.
Yeah.
But if I remove my personal bias, I'm sorry to do this to you, Leroy. He goes above Hulk Hogan for sure. He might be number 1. And I usually don't agree with when, you know, they're trying to put that out there, the kind of hyperbole a little bit. But
Well, they're trying to sell the match, but yeah.
I
see your point.
think the reason I think John might be number 1 of all time is I think about a guy. Because here's the thing, Hogan didn't really have to worry about all the shit that John ended up having to deal with as far as like social media and all that. Like Hogan was Hogan.
Is this a LeBron MJ style argument?
A little bit
Okay.
in this sense.
Okay.
Hogan was Hogan. Like,
It would have been bad if they would have had social
if
media.
they, well,
It would have been
to
really
be
bad.
honest, I don't know if Vince would have made it through the 90s if we had social media
probably
back
not.
then.
No, probably not.
Katie Vick would have been the end of like half their careers.
2000 would have been the end of Vince McMahon. But here's the thing. Hogan is he's probably the biggest pillar in pro wrestling. But boy, is John Cena pretty close. And for me, I would put John Cena above him in this sense. John had to navigate through social media.
Yep.
John had to navigate through something Hogan never. He did deal with for a short time, but not on the scale of John Cena, of people turning on him. Now remember, Hogan went heel. One of the best moves Eric Bischoff ever made.
Yeah.
Right? Because remember, he left to go do movies because he was just like, it's probably time for me to take a break from pro wrestling.
Sure.
Because fans started to turn on him. John didn't do that.
No.
John just
kept
continued. He kept getting fucking. I still remember he got booed in Boston. And he's supposed to be the biggest babyface in the world. And basically, even at that point in time where he had changed, people don't even realize when they were booing him at the time, he actually did change his game. And he got better. But they couldn't see past the Vince is just shoving him down our throat. It's Super Cena. It's Super Cena. It's Super Cena. And now look what happened at SummerSlam. All of a sudden, it was just like, man, I'm going to miss Super Cena. This shit was kind of fun.
You know.
And I think a lot of John Cena's career.
A lot that came out from that Cody match, not to interrupt you there, a lot that came out was that, like you said, I think a lot of people sat back and realized, you know what? This was a lot of fun back in the day.
Yeah.
He invoked a nostalgic childhood thing in all people. I recently had this conversation with somebody. Of our generation needs to instill in the next generation, always enjoy what makes you happy in terms of like the cartoons, the animes, the TV shows, the toys, the games. Embrace that and be that.
Right.
Because unfortunately, we went through that weird period of we were still living off of our parents' era where you tried to fit in a little too much, so you kind of pushed a lot of what you liked off to the side. And now it's like, no. Enjoy that. Be happy.
I mean, I didn't. I was different. But I get what you mean.
Right. No.
And,
I'm talking overall.
And here's the big thing, right? And
But that SummerSlam match, all of a sudden, Jesse, like you're saying, if I finish that up, people got lost in what John used to be.
And I think it's also the fact that you can look at Cody.
Yeah.
And you can see that's the new age version of it.
Yeah.
And in a way, because Cody is our guy.
Yeah.
Because Cody left, did the indies, made us all love him. It didn't even when he was a heel, we all loved him. We loved to boo him, but then we loved to cheer him again. He's our guy. That's why I'm like, he was always my QB1. I love Cody Rhodes. I still remember meeting him when I went to a Ring of Honor event, and he was there. He was so generous with his fucking time, I thought he was going to get in trouble. Because he was so cool with all the fans. So I've always rooted for Cody Rhodes since that moment. Here's the other thing, and I'm not trying to speak ill on those who are not with us anymore.
Yeah.
But it does have to be said. He's probably one of the best guys who was the best to ever do it. Think about it. Shawn had his drug issues, wasn't always loved.
Yeah.
But when he came back after finding himself, that's why when he was in his prime and he came back in the 2000s and, you're hearing all this shit about, well, I'm not what I used to be and all this. And we're like, Shawn, we love you. Stop doing this. And then,
For him finding God.
Right,
and
right.
That is just an unfortunate byproduct of that happening. He has to
Ric Flair
find
was
a way to forgive
Ric
himself.
Flair, as we all know, had a history coming through the business of being a very shitty human being, and Terry Bollea's stuff is very documented.
That is the thing, Jesse. I think everyone believes that John will stay away.
I have no doubt. And it's also the fact of like...
That Shannon Sharp interview with John, go watch that if you haven't. It is a fascinating look at it because remember, he didn't go on there and he didn't do what he did to Nikki Bella and go robot. everyone has to understand that is how John speaks, the humbleness, all that kind of
Right.
stuff behind it. But the Nikki thing was because he didn't want to do it and she made him do it. So it is what it is.
But here's
like,
the thing, like with
but yeah,
John,
but
is,
yeah, no, I mean, I think John will
the
stay
biggest
away.
thing with John, like I said, this is a guy when you really think about how he treats people in daily life.
Yeah.
Not just when he's doing events, when people have, like, when kids have approached him. This is genuinely one of the best fucking guys on the planet to ever do this at the level he did it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why for a lot of us, especially for a lot of people who watched the SummerSlam thing, there was a lot of tears because it was a realization of, fuck, our GOAT is leaving.
Yeah.
Our GOAT is almost gone.
And you know, Jesse, it's really funny, but because he's done the same navigation, I give it until next Christmas, if he's done after this year. Whatever Christmas follows LeBron's retirement is going to feel a lot like that. Because unfortunately, we don't understand. The ratings dropped 50% when Michael left. But obviously they were able to find themselves again. The only problem I think people don't believe is, unfortunately, if the next guy is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, very few people outside of Oklahoma City like how he plays.
Or know who he is.
Exactly. Because he plays in Oklahoma City.
Right.
So LeBron James.
To be honest, really, I'm going to be real. When it comes to that, it's going to be a Minnesota time because the guy with that much charisma who's that great right now would be Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. But like I said, Anthony is like John and LeBron in the sense of, Jesse, like you said, they're great, but something about them that we can't explain, like all of a sudden makes the world know
The thing
about
that
them.
makes, and here's the thing, and apparently what Bill Goldberg never fucking understood, the thing that makes you feel like a superhero is being able to week in, week out, not only be the best at what you do, but be the best person.
Yeah.
And John did that for over 20 years. And he never bitched, and he never complained, and he could have.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people say he should have, but he didn't. He never bitched, and he kept going, and he learned from his mistakes. And like CM Punk recently said,
He's also apologized for his
Well,
mistakes.
right. And
something Hogan never
Well,
did.
well, right.
Something Flair has never
will
done.
never do probably. Here's the thing, though.
Something Bill Goldberg clearly won't
Well,
do.
right. And here's the thing, right? I think more so than anything, and why for a lot of people, especially initially, it'll feel this way. And they're going to probably induct him this year, if he can find. If he's probably already tried to find the time for April coming up this year, because I'm sure they told him, "Oh, you're going into the Hall this year." With John Cena is this: you can see like 4 different generations of wrestling fans wearing his shit, and you're just happy to see his stuff. You're happy to see his merch. You're happy to see people playing his music. Like, because it's besides his booking in wrestling, there's really no other reason to have dislike John Cena.
And we'll talk about how we felt the last time Is Now tour was after it's all said and done. Mm-hmm. But we're going to end on this. To the people who are fighting that lawsuit against TKO for the horns and John Cena's music, they're only going to play it one more goddamn time, and then they're never going to play it again.
Yeah.
So a little late on the lawsuit there, folks.
You know.
But anyway.
I want to do a top 5. Do you want me to tell you the top 5 for next week, or should we wait it for next week? For you guys.
I do want to say this really quick, too.
And
because I think the realest thing about John Cena's retirement is this, now that we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
John Cena is the first domino of the end of an era.
Yes.
We're losing AJ.
Yep.
Roman has already said after this contract, which is only about 1.5 years, from my understanding, 1 year and 8 months.
Yeah.
So through Christmas and then 6 months after that.
Yeah.
Of next year and then 6 months after that. He's done.
Yeah.
He's done. He's going home. And Cody has already said, in 5 years, I'm gone. Seth he just said on the NFL show, he's like, to be honest, he's like, probably after this contract, I might do what he's doing with sports more full time.
Yeah.
And then focus on being a dad. Becky has already said, probably after the next 4 years, she's going home. Charlotte has already said in the next 3 years, I'm probably going home. I'm like, there's a huge age here that are going to be gone.
Yeah.
And
A lot of people.
and you want to know what's even crazier? All that's going to happen, and Seth Rollins will still be wrestling on one leg. Because Seth Rollins can't give it up to
He's
save
been
his
wrestling
fucking
on
life.
one leg for like 12 years.
That's true.
Save your top 5, Leroy. It's fine.
All right.
Thank you
I
all
have it
so
written down.
very much. We appreciate Leroy being able to make it. Unfortunately, how long? I guarantee we went like 4.5, didn't we?
For almost 4 hours.
Almost 4.
It's fine. But anyway, we
You
appreciate.
know who we need to bring in here for the people before we say goodbye? I want everyone who watches the show or listens to the show and watches the show, I want everyone to reach out to someone. He's got red hair. He's from Minnesota. And he's probably the reason the show has started. Reach out. Not just because we're going to try to do it, but I want our fans to go to his Snapchat and harass Darren Corbin to come back on the show early next year, because I get a sense that's another guy who probably wouldn't mind stepping away from wrestling in 4 years.
Yeah, I know.
And it would be great for the guy who helped us get started to talk with him.
Thank you all so very much, and we will talk to you guys all next week. And remember, normally that's how we end it, but before Jesse gives the classic goodbye, just understand something. This is the very last episode of 13 Cards Subject to Change with John Cena in the wrestling business. Think about that before you turn off this podcast. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you guys all in a new era of professional wrestling. And boy, it's a very tough one, but thank you all so much.
Bye-bye.